Mic check 1 2, check 1 2. Mic check 1 2. Mic check, we're getting set for today's game, Rockers Genomes. It is Tuesday night at the ballpark, and we are counting down to first pitch. If you want the full Rockers pregame show, we're on MixLR right now, and we've got a pregame interview with outfielder Cesar Trejo coming up in about 30 seconds. So just head to the free app MixLR and search High Point Rockers Baseball. We'll take a look around the Atlantic League a little bit later on, and then after that we'll have lineups in first pitch. We are getting close for a big series between the High Point Rockers and the Wild Health Genomes. Why is this such a big series, you might ask? Well, if there is only one wild card spot available in the 2022 Atlantic League postseason, these two teams are tied for that spot right now, so that is exactly what is up for grabs over the final 38 games or so of the half.
Hey everybody, Harold Reynolds here from MLB Network. Thanks for attending today's Atlantic League game. Baseball is the greatest game in the world, and again this season, Major League Baseball and the Atlantic League are experimenting with rule changes based on fan feedback that are designed to increase action, improve pace of play, and reduce injuries. A test rule you might recognize is the double hook designated hitter, which returns this year with a couple changes. As you recall, last year a team lost its designated hitter when the starting pitcher left the game. In 2022, as long as the starting pitcher completes 5 innings, then he can be relieved and the club does not lose a designated hitter. If the pitcher doesn't go 5 innings, guess what? You lose your DH. Now also returned is this one. It's the pass ball rule. In 2019, which allowed the batter to take off for first base with any time that a pitch was not caught by the catcher. This year, if the batter reaches first base, they'll be credited with, get this, a base hit. We're excited to see these ideas play out, and we're glad that you'll be watching with us. Enjoy the game.
I'll be the last man standing here. I'm gonna rock you. I'm gonna rock you. I'm gonna rock you. I'll have you begging for mercy, begging for mercy. Oh, oh. I'm dangerous. So dangerous.
Rockabye baseball.
I'm dangerous. So dangerous.
Hey Rockers fans, we are so thrilled to have you join us all here at Truist Point and during our broadcast via YouTube. Thank you for rooting on your home squad.
Welcome back into the Rockers pregame show on the Rockers Baseball Network as we count you down to first pitch tonight between the High Point Rockers and the Wild Health Genomes. And to those of you on YouTube, welcome aboard. Thanks for joining us here on a Tuesday evening. The Rockers back home for an August slate that does have more home games than July, which is, I think, a big plus for this High Point Rockers team. They've spent the majority of the summer on the road, and kind of evens things out a little bit more. It does skew a little more homebound the rest of the way. So for the Rockers, it all starts today. They take on the Genomes for 3 games in a big early August series. Let's go ahead and take a look at today's starting lineups. First off, for Mark Minikazzi's Wild Health Genomes, leading off is Luke Becker. He will be the third baseman. Batting in the number 2 spot is the right fielder Felix P.A. Hitting third is the designated hitter Chris Davis. Batting fourth is Jimmy Paredes. He is the second baseman. Moises Sierra will play first base and bat fifth. Samir Dueñez is the left fielder hitting sixth. Austin Rye, the catcher, bats seventh. Anderson Miller is in center field tonight. He will hit eighth, while Gavin Johns is the shortstop, and he will bat ninth. Player to watch today? Well, it's pretty simple. He's the guy who has torched the Rockers time and time again this year. And that is Samir Dueñez, a guy who has 7 home runs on the year. Somehow 4 of them have come against High Point. So Samir Dueñez, the guy that we're looking at today as being a key for the Rockers to figure out how to contain him. Because, quite frankly, a lot of the rest of the Atlantic League has already figured it out. But for some reason, the Rockers a little bit behind in that endeavor. The lineup today that is put together by Jamie Keefe is as follows. Leading off is the third baseman, Michael Russell. Batting in the number 2 spot is Ben Aklinski. He is the center fielder. Jerry Downs today is the first baseman, hitting third. Xander Wheel in right field. Xander is the cleanup batter this afternoon. Hitting fifth is the designated hitter, the designated hitter, Logan Morrison. Batting sixth, Quincy Lattimore. He's in left field. Tyler Ladendorf, the second baseman, hits seventh. Giovanni Alfonso, the shortstop, will bat in the number 8 spot. Mike Galino, the catcher, hits ninth. So again, that's Russell, Aklinski, Downs, Wheel, Morrison, Lattimore, Ladendorf, Alfonso, and Galino. Player to watch for the Rockers? Well, it is the defending player of the week. It was announced yesterday that Jerry Downs was awarded player of the week, and I'll tell you what, a guy with an on-base percentage of .593 over the course of the week, yeah, there's a big reason why he was given that honor. And I think for the Rockers, that's a big thing. And really for the entire team, it's just trying to get back to doing what they were doing prior to the series, or prior to Sunday's game against Southern Maryland. This is a Rockers offense that had been really firing on all cylinders. They had been driving in the runners when they were on base. They're swinging the power bats like crazy. So for High Point, pretty simple. Throw Sunday out the window and get back to what you were doing. This was a team that, again, we've talked about it time and time again. They're not a home run hitting club, but they were thriving on it over the last couple of days. While you've got it, take advantage of it. That's exactly what this team has been doing. And you think back to hitting 5 home runs in the first game of that series, and off of Mitch Lamson on Friday night. This is a Rockers offense that is still sitting right in the middle of the pack in terms of total home runs hit in the Atlantic League, but they are inching their way closer to the top of that leaderboard. And Jerry Downs getting all back to full circle. We'll talk a little bit throughout the course of the day about the turnaround that Jerry Downs has had this season, leading the Rockers in average right now at .299. Once again on pace to hit 20 home runs. Maybe not quite going to be able to reach his RBI total from last year, but he is still going to be an extremely strong lineup again. The Beggs faces Russell, Aklinski, Downs, Wheel, Morrison, Lattimore, Ladendorf, Alfonso, and Galino. First pitch from Beggs, a fastball strike to Russell. The count 0-1. Russell hitting .240 with 3 home runs, 27 runs batted in. High fastball. Oh, it got Russell on the arm. Looks like he's all right, though, thankfully. He's one of those guys that especially the way he's been hitting recently. The Rockers really don't want to see back on the injured list. Here comes Beniklinski, first to check over to first base on Michael Russell. Beniklinski, the former Philadelphia Philly, what a day. Major League Baseball trade deadline. Obviously, the Padres were the big story, but the Phillies had themselves a day as well. That pitch low, and the count is 1-0 to Aklinski. Not only did they reacquire former High Point Rocker David Robertson, but right at the deadline, the Phillies and the Angels struck a deal sending Noah Syndergaard to Philadelphia. Here comes the 1-0 to Aklinski. There's an inside fastball. Nope, going to catch the inside corner, and the count 1-1. We'll take a look at all the trade deadline moves later on today as Beggs throws over to first base. That gets away, and Michael Russell's going to head down to second base. Rockers with a man in scoring position. And it's going to be an error there on the Genomes, and now the Rockers have an opportunity to grab an early one-run lead. Beggs set. Here comes the 1-1 on the way. Righty fires. Aklinski fouls it off. The count 1-2 strikes. Rockers today wearing their white home uniforms. Genomes with the gray pants and the light blue jerseys with the pink lettering and numbering. They've gone with the black hats today as well. 1-2 on the way. Beggs fires. That's down low. A check swing from Aklinski, and the count goes to 2-2. Officially, that error was on Destin Beggs, which allowed Russell to head down to second base on the play. Two balls, two strikes. Here comes the offering from Beggs. Aklinski taps it weakly towards third base, coming in on his Becker. Fires a throw to first. It will get Aklinski, but it is a productive out nonetheless as Michael Russell heads to third base. We'll set the Genomes defensively here. It is Samir Dueñas in left, Anderson Miller in center. Felix Pie is in right field. Luke Becker at third. Shortstop is Gavin Johns. Second base, Jimmy Paredes. And first base is Moises Sierra. That is a look at the defensive alignment for the Genomes. Here's Jerry Downs, 299 with 13 home runs, 50 batted in. High fastball from Beggs, and the count 1-0. And again for High Point, an opportunity to score first, which is not as Loctite a strategy as perhaps it was early in the season, but it still works in their favor more often than not. Here comes the 1-0. Downs high fly ball, center field. Miller going back, should be deep enough to score Russell by a lot. Miller makes the catch at the front of the track, and Russell scores easily on the sacrifice fly from Jerry Downs. 1-0 Rockers. High Point this year, 28-19 when scoring first, 17-22 when opponents score first. So that'll bring up Xander Wheel, 289, 25 home runs, and 77 runs batted in. Beggs ready. Curveball stays high, and the count 1-0. Xander Wheel has already reached his career high in home runs. He is 1 away, or is 9 away rather, his career high in runs batted in. There's a high strike called by Calvin Baker. Here's the pitch, big swing from Xander, the count 1-2. comes the pitch. Wheel reaching for it. Fouls it off. Count remains 1-2. Beggs ready. 1-2 on the way. Off speed, swing and a miss. Wheel chase the slider down, and that is the final out of the inning. But the Rockers on the board with an unearned run. And with that, we head to the top of inning number 2. Rockers lead at 1-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. First pitch, a strike to Jimmy Paredes. We're underway, top 2. This is such an important game for both teams. Rockers and Genomes tied for the wild card spot. Should one become available, which right now it would be. There's a swing and a miss, count 0-2 to Paredes. Rockers only have this series against the Genomes and then one late at Kentucky in mid-September, and that's it for this head-to-head matchup. It's important for the Rockers to get a couple here. Outside from Stem, count 1-2. Again, we'll dive a little bit deeper into we'll explain what the importance of this series is. As Paredes hits this one, a little weak flare into center. It's going to drop down for a base hit. And the Genomes leadoff man is aboard, and that'll bring up Moises Sierra. Defensively for the Rockers, Quincy Lattimore in left field, Ben Aklinski in center, Xander Wheel is in right, Michael Russell at third base, Giovanni Alfonso the shortstop, Tyler Latendorf at second, Jerry Downs at first, and Mike Galino behind the plate. Moises Sierra hitting at .264, 6 home runs, 31 runs batted in. Here comes the first pitch, fastball strike. And the count 0-1. Not a lot of speed either on first base or at the plate. Rockers can get one on the ground. Bodes well to the chance of turning 2. That one just inside. Stem doesn't get the call. Moises Sierra came up with the Toronto Blue Jays about 10 years ago, made his major league debut. Here's the 1-1, off speed, he went around. Nasty looking curveball there from Craig Stem, and the count 1-2. The Rockers righty set, 1-2 on the way. Fastball down and in. The count 2-2. Most of the infield is in shade. Outfield is, for the most part, in sunlight, except for right down the lines. Again, it is just under 90 degrees. Still hot, and it's going to continue to be hot for the majority of the next month. But then that's when that September baseball weather will start to creep in. You know that it's going to be serious then. Everything, all the stakes ramped up when you get to September. For the Rockers, though, really the postseason push starts now. It's the team that really needs to start playing like they did that month of May where the Rockers went 20-8. That pitch low to Sierra, count full. Back-to-back losing records for High Point in the months of June and July. Never lost, had losing records in back-to-back months. Here's that ground ball to short. Alfonso scoops it up to second for one. Ladendorf off-balance throw. It's not going to get there. That one was going to be trouble from the beginning. Alfonso came in on the ball, threw to second base, but it was the wrong side of second for Ladendorf, who had to twist in a very odd way to even get that throw off. It's going to be a tough turn. Rockers couldn't turn it, but they do get the lead runner, so there's one out, a runner on first base now for Samir Dueñez. You want to talk about thorn in the Rockers' side. Samir Dueñez is the definition of that this year. We made the comment, I think, with Gastonia, perhaps with Emmanuel Tapia, perhaps being the focus of that. Is that pitch a called strike in the count 0-1? Why is it the guys that don't hit home runs against High Point? Because that's kind of the way that it's gone this year. Samir Dueñez, 7 home runs on the season, 4 of them against the Rockers. Here's the 0-1. Off speed, swing and a miss. He went down to a knee for that one. And the count quickly 0-2. Sierra at first base, not a threat to run, really outside of 1 or 2 players. Nobody on this team really is. There's the 0-2, fastball. Dueñez pops it up. First base side foul. Galino and Downs both there. Downs is going to make the play. And that's the second out of the inning. So that'll bring up Austin Rye. 227, 6 home runs, and 32 batted in. Another example of somebody hitting well against High Point, against the Rockers. Rye has boosted his average about 125 points, hitting .353 with 2 of his 6 home runs. Stem is ready. First pitch of the at-bat on the way. And the righty fires. There's a called strike, and the count 0-1. Well, it's an early 1-0 Rockers lead. Obviously, that's not going to be enough for them during the course of this game, but it's a good start. 0-1 on the way. Nasty off-speed pitch from Stem. That ball just falls straight down after giving the illusion that it's going to catch the zone. And the count 0-2. Stem ready, 0-2 on the way. And this pitch popped up, first base side. Ladendorf and Downs converging on it. Ladendorf's going to call for it, make the catch. And that is the final out of the inning. So another pretty clean frame for Craig Stem. And we head to the bottom of inning number 2. Rockers lead it. It is 1-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the second, 1-0 High Point right now. And the Rockers send 5, 6, 7 to the plate. Morrison, Lattimore, and Ladendorf. Rockers do not have a hit. They do have a run. And just to confirm what we speculated earlier, yes, it is an unearned run on Dustin Beggs. So, for the Rockers, Logan Morrison lead things off, hitting at .258, 9 home runs, 34 batted in, as we've been talking about during most of the road trip this past week on our broadcasts. It has been not the year that Morrison was hoping for or anticipating. As that pitch, a called strike at the top of the zone, 0-1. However, he's such a professional hitter, and he just goes about his work all the right ways. It's just a matter of time before we start to see baseballs just exploding off of Logan's bat again as he takes low in the count 1-1. Because on a team that is full of hard workers, I don't know if you find anybody that works harder than Morrison. High fly ball here into right center. Miller going back. That ball is going to one-hop the wall. Morrison will coast into second base for a double. That's a big hit for Logan Morrison. It went the opposite way into the left center field gap. And the Rockers have their first hit and leadoff man aboard in inning number 2. And you know that's a relief for Morrison to be able to see the ball driven off of his bat as well. Here's Quincy Lattimore, .266, 13 home runs, 46 runs batted in. Here comes the first pitch, down to Lattimore in the count 1-0. Well, with a runner in scoring position and nobody out, Rockers have an opportunity to double their lead here in the second inning. And again, for an offense in the Genomes that is as explosive as they are, it's important for High Point to take advantage of these opportunities with runners in scoring position as Lattimore swings and misses, count 1-1. Now, I know that sounds kind of rudimentary, and you think about the fact, well, yeah, if you got a guy in scoring position, you should always try to score. But when you know your other team or your opponent is capable of scoring a ton of runs, it becomes all the more important as Lattimore takes a strike in the count 1-2. Beggs is ready, 1-2 on the way. Looks back at Morrison, who's inching off of second. Here's the pitch. Lattimore hits this off the end of the bat, and it gets through. It's fair down the left field side. Morrison comes around. He'll score without a throw. Lattimore heads into second base with a double. That was an outside pitch. Quincy Lattimore reached for it and was able to just hook it inside the third base bag out of the reach of Luke Becker. What a piece of hitting there from Quincy Lattimore. Sure, maybe a little bit of luck involved, but it's a big hit nonetheless. Back-to-back doubles for High Point to start the second. For Lattimore, his 47th run batted in. So here's Tyler Ladendorf now, .229 with 12 home runs and 38 runs batted in. Also, that was the 15th double for Lattimore this year as Beggs fires down low, ball 1. Ball and no strikes. And Beggs fires off speed to Ladendorf. He'll pop it up in the infield. Right there is the first baseman, Sierra. Easy play. And the count 0-1. Or check that as the first out of the inning. Here's Giovanni Alfonso hitting a .291, 2 home runs, and 26 runs batted in. Alfonso swings, lines this right back up the middle, a base hit. Jamie Keefe is windmilling around Quincy Lattimore. Here comes the throw home. It's going to be cut off. Lattimore scores on the Alfonso single, and the Rockers lead it now 3-0 in the second inning. Lattimore comes around all the way from second base. Alfonso's 27th run batted in this year. That'll bring up Mike Galino now. First pitch to Galino. He'll take down and away. Beggs is set, 1-0 on the way. There's a fastball called strike, and the count 1-1. One out here in the bottom of the second. Rockers already with a 3-0 advantage. Sack fly in the first and a couple of runs here in the second. Here's the 1-1. Beggs holds the set and fires to Galino. Fastball high and tight, and the count 2-1 now. Galino hitting at .244 with a home run, 13 runs batted in. Here's the 2-1. He hits this one off the end of the bat, a slow roller to short. Johns will go to second for one on to first, and that's the double play ball. A 6-4-3 twin killing, and we are through 2 innings of play, but the Rockers add a couple on an RBI double from Quincy Lattimore, an RBI base hit from Giovanni Alfonso, and we head to the third. Rockers lead 3-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Hey Rockers fans, Brittany coming to you live from the High Pint. Thank you for subscribing to our Rockers YouTube channel. We appreciate you watching our home squad even when you cannot make it into the stadium. Be sure to shop our online Rockers merchandise from home. Simply head to highpointrockers.com and click on the merchandise tab. We know your friends and family would love to rock some home team merchandise.
Top of the third inning here, Rockers and Genomes. High Point with a 3-0 lead over Wild Health as we head to the third. Craig Stem, just 25 pitches through 2 innings. He'll face 8, 9, and 1. Miller, Johns, and Becker. We talked a little bit earlier about why this game is so important. When you look at the Atlantic League standings in the North Division, Lancaster 15-8. They lead Southern Maryland by a game, and the reason that's important is Southern Maryland won the first half, so if they were able to regain the crown in the second half, we'd have 2 wild card teams. Right now, we just have 1. That pitch fouled off, and the count 0-1. Staten Island's 4.5 out. York 6 out. Long Island 7 out. And really, it kind of feels like the North and South divisions have flip-flopped from the first half to the second half as far as which division had a first-place club that was pulling away. As Miller swings and misses, and the count 0-2. In the South, it's Gastonia with a 7.5 game lead already. They're 19-4. Kentucky is next at 11-11. 8 games out is Lexington, 9 out Charleston. High Point finds themselves 12 back. Swing and a miss, strike 3. Down goes Anderson Miller. Second strikeout for Craig Stem. That'll bring up Gavin Johns, hitting at .214. The Rockers, despite being in last place in the second half, again, the important thing for the Rockers right now is the wild card hunt, and it stands with the Rockers and the Genomes tied for the wild card spot. And the tiebreaker, which of course head-to-head goes to the Genomes, so the Rockers technically, if the playoffs started tomorrow, would be on the outside looking in. First pitch a strike, and the count 0-1 to Johns, which is why it is so imperative for the Rockers to win this series specifically. High Point 3-7 overall against the Genomes. That pitch misses low, 1-1. So out of these final 6 games, Rockers would need to go 5-1 to go to the next tiebreaker. That pitch low. And the count 2-1. But obviously, while it's important to win those head-to-head contests, first off, that pitch lines center field. Long run for Aklinski, but he's going to snag it for the second out of the inning. Go back to the top of the lineup and Luke Becker now. But finishing that thought, the Rockers, it does seem like they're starting to put some of the pieces together. Some of the newcomers who have come in have really started to take to their roles. The bullpen, the newcoming additions of the bullpen have been fantastic. Cotter, Castellanos, Aker, Mickey Janis looked really good on Sunday. So for High Point, you're kind of at the point where you're starting to get your end-of-the-year roster, and it's really taking shape. So this is the group of guys. They're gelling right now, and this is a team that looks to be on the rise again after a disappointing summer. That pitch missed down and in. The count 1-0 to Becker. Maybe they just weren't a hot weather team. They played really well in April and May. Maybe they'll be really good at the end of August into September. We'll see. That pitch down and in, 2-0 to Becker now. Becker 0 for 1, hitting at .285 with 14 home runs, 54 batted in. Fouls that one off, 2-1. One of 2 players in the Atlantic League to hit for the cycle. Both Becker and the Rockers' Michael Russell, the only 2 to achieve that. That was quite a fun game to broadcast. Michael Russell getting that one done at Wild Health Field against the Lexington Legends. Becker chases the high fastball, comes up empty, and the count is 2-2. Stem was down 0-2, now 2-2, battled back. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground towards second base, scooped up by Ladendorf in shallow right. The throw almost pulled Jerry Downs off the bag, but he's able to get his foot back in time, and Luke Becker thankfully slowed up to avoid a serious collision with Jerry Downs. And so that is a 1-2-3 inning for Craig Stem, his second such inning, and that is the 3rd ground out to Tyler Ladendorf already. So that's the key to success, it seems, through 2.5. We go to the bottom of the 3rd. Rockers up 3-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Rockers fans, Brittany coming to you live from the High Point. We want to thank you all for joining us yet again for another Rockers homestand. We enjoy seeing you at Truist Point Stadium. Be sure to visit the High Pints located directly behind home plate on the concourse for delicious craft beers and Rockers team swag. We guarantee there is something in there for everybody. Yes, even your babies and your furry friends.
Bottom of the 3rd inning, Rockers with a 3-0 lead, and they'll have the top of the lineup coming up here. Russell, Aklinski, and Downs, the 3 scheduled hitters against Dustin Beggs. We told you Craig Stem Now at 28 pitches through 3 innings, Dustin Beggs, check that, Stim is at 37 through 3 innings. Dustin Beggs will begin the 3rd inning at 28 pitches, 18 of which have been strikes. So here's Michael Russell, was hit by a pitch and scored in his first trip around the base paths tonight. Wind is blowing out to left center. Russell hitting right at 240. Highest he's been this year in terms of batting average, 244. So he's right there. Takes a strike and the count 0-1. Well, not only has he been on an upward trajectory, but it's been a skyrocketing trajectory at times, although he reaches down and away for that one. And he's down in the count now 0-2. One point was hitting just barely over 200. Check swing on a pitch down and away. Did not go. And the count goes to 1 ball, 2 strikes. Well, really, there was a long stretch where he was in the 190s. If they can get him up to about 260 by the end of the year, I think you take that all day, every day. Off-speed pitch hit weakly on the ground to short. Scooped up by Johns, and the throw on to first base will retire Russell for the first out of the 3rd inning. That'll bring up Ben Aklinski. He grounded out to 3rd his first time up. 278, 15 home runs, 54 runs batted in. Aklinski is the author of 3 of the Rockers' 4 walk-off hits this year. Check that, 3 of 5. A single, a home run, and a grand slam. There's a fastball strike to Aklinski, and the count goes to 0-1. There's a pitch down and away, and the count goes to 2-1. Here's the pitch. Aklinski grounds it right back up the middle. It's going to get through. It's a base hit. Big turn there for Aklinski. But he'll hang on over there at first base. And so runner on first and 1 out now. Here's Jerry Downs. The sacrifice fly, his first time up. Runner on first for High Point. They've got 4 hits already. Beggs ready. First pitch on the way to Downs, high. And the count goes to 1-0. Check over to first base. That ball gets away. Aklinski's going to stay put. So Ben stays at first. It's a ball and no strikes. Another check over to first base. That one almost got him. And Moises Sierra falls on top of Ben Aklinski over there. And Aklinski kind of slow getting up, but he does get up now. On the way to Downs. Downs working on an 8-game hitting streak. There's a fastball high, and the count 2-0. First 6 of those 8 games were 2 hits each. Was just named again Rockers Player of the Week. Here's the 2-0 off speed swing and a miss. Aklinski on his way down to second. It's a bad throw, but the tag. Johns on. Almost looked at first as if Ben Aklinski didn't really commit to running right off. Just almost seemed a little hesitant at the beginning, and I think that hurt his attempt there. So that clears the bases, and now there's 2 outs and nobody on for downs. Count 2-1. Two one on the way. Beggs fires. Downs, hot shot to second base. It gets past Paredes. Downs thinking about heading to second base. He will. He will coast in a stand-up double. It was a hot shot that Paredes tried to play on the side and wasn't able to snag it. So it's a two-out double. Rockers missed an opportunity to score. With Aklinski being caught stealing, might have been able to score on that play, but instead, runner on second now for Xander Wheel. Xander Wheel struck out his first time up. Here's the pitch. That's down low. And the count 1-0 to Wheel. Well, Xander, a guy who no stranger to driving in runs for the Rockers, sometimes in droves. Here's the pitch from Beggs. Wheel swings, high fly ball to center. Going back is Miller. This ball has a lot of carry. That ball is off of the wall. Downs will come in and score. Wheel is on his way to third. Here comes the throw. It's going to go to the cutoff man. It's a stand-up triple for Xander Wheel. RBI number 78, but more importantly, how about another triple for Xander Wheel, his third this year? Tied with Michael Russell for the team lead. Ben Aklinski as well has 3. Jerry Downs came in and scored 4-0 Rockers. Here's Logan Morrison, doubled his first time up. Beggs ready, first pitch. Morrison pops it up in the infield. Johns is there. And the shortstop puts it away. That is the final out of the inning. But the Rockers score on a 2-out triple by Xander Wheel. And they extend their lead 4-0. We head to the fourth on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the fourth, and the Rockers with a 4-0 lead. And, well, since we're in the top of the fourth, that means it's time to take a look around the Atlantic League and see what else is going on today. Bottom of the second, the Ducks lead the Ferry Hawks 3-0 right now. Lancaster and York, they're deadlocked into third, 1-1. Southern Maryland leads Charleston right now in a 2-0 score. Gastonia doing what Gastonia does. They're killing Lexington 8-1 in the second inning. So again, just a quick recap. This is the simplest I can make the postseason standings, or the postseason scenario. If one team repeats as second half winner that won the first half. There's one wild card team, which right now is the Genomes. As Craig Stem's first pitch to PA misses, and the count is 1-0. If both teams repeat in both the North and South Division, that opens up a second spot. That second spot would be the Rockers. Now, the Rockers and Genomes are tied for that spot right now. So if the Rockers win tonight, they flip-flop and they become the number one wild card team. Here's the 1-1 to Felix PA. Fouls it off, 1-2. Stem holds the set. And the 1-2 on the way to PA, who is 0 for 1. Off speed, lined right field side and foul. And the count remains 1-2. Next couple of innings, we'll start to dive into the wild and crazy afternoon that was the end of the Major League Baseball trade deadline. A lot of things happened today, and we pride ourselves in being a source of news and information, so we'll catch you up on everything you missed. That one missed outside, and the count 2-2 to Felix PA now. Stem has allowed just one hit through his first 3 innings. Certainly looks like he may be able to give the Rockers a pretty deep start today. That one fouled off. And the count remains 2-2. A good battle here with Felix PA, though, the former major leaguer. Again, 2, 3, 4, 5 in this lineup, all former big league hitters for the Genomes, and that is the big calling card on this team. The so-called power alley, if you will. Fastball inside, and the count goes full. Stem holds the set. Payoff pitch on the way to PA. Grounded foul, first base. And the count remains full. This is a lengthy at-bat here. Pitch number 9 on the way. But the only thing that could hurt Craig Stem right now is long at-bats. 3-2. This one's popped up behind the plate. Galino spins around, now finds it, heading towards third base, and he'll make the catch. Good play by Galino. That's the first out of the 4th inning, and that'll bring up Chris Davis, who struck out his first time up. One of just 2 strikeouts for Craig Stem. Craig Stem, the all-time strikeout leader for the Rockers, not necessarily because he's a strikeout guy, but he is a guy who has been here and has been successful, as Davis fouls that off. One of the big things with Chris Davis, and we talked about it when the Rockers were on the road at Wild Health a couple of weeks ago, we said, look, the Rockers are not going to keep Chris Davis from hitting home runs. What they do need to do is keep him from hitting home runs when there's runners on base. That one down low, and the count goes to 1-1. He hit 2 home runs against High Point when the Rockers were there in Kentucky. One of them a solo home run. The other one, though, was a 3-run shot. Here comes a 1-1. Stem fires, fastball low, and the count goes to 2-1. Mostly sunny skies here, a couple of patchy clouds, but beautiful night for baseball. Off speed, Davis will crank it foul. The count 2-2. That went down the left field side. Stem ready, 2-2 on the way. Off speed, fouled off, and the count remains 2-2. Well, it was a long battle with Felix PA, and it looks like it's going to be another tough one here with Chris Davis, Rockers, the Genomes rather, no runs on 1 hit, 1 error. High Point 4 runs on 6 hits and no errors. 2-2 on the way. Stem fires off speed, lined left field side. It's foul. And the count remains 2-2. Obviously, still a lot can change in the course of the day, but Stem has brought the ERA down to 3.38, which would slide him into third in the Atlantic League, second active. Davis can change that in one swing. Here's a high fly ball from Davis into left center. Looks like it might stay in the yard, though. Aklinski goes to the wall, makes the catch, crashes into the wall. Luckily, it wasn't a hard hit, and Aklinski's already heading back to center, but he had to go to the extreme left center field alleyway and make that catch almost full stride. A good play for Ben Aklinski. Brings up Jimmy Paredes now, 1 for 1. Paredes, a switch hitter, batting from the left-hand side. Only hit of the day for the Genomes. Off speed, swing and a miss. It was a very aggressive swing from Paredes, but he'll come up empty on it, and the count goes to 0-1. Stem ready, 0-1 on the way. Off speed, that is away, and the count goes to 1 ball, 1 strike. Evening shadows continue to stretch across the playing surface. All the infield covered in shadow now, and about half the outfield. Paredes lines this one up the middle. It's a base hit, and he's got both of the Genomes hits today. With that 2-out single. That'll bring up Moises Sierra, hitting at .264, 6 home runs, and 31 runs batted in. That would thwart what would be a third 1-2-3 inning for Craig Stem tonight. However, in his other inning that he didn't record a 1-2-3, he was able to only face 4. Sierra, the 4th hitter this inning. Wild swing and a miss. On a pitch down and away, and the count 0-1. Obviously, Craig Stem trending towards probably about another 7-inning start today, which would be no surprise. But in the event that he falters, this is a deep and rested bullpen right now. Swing and a miss there in the count 0-2. Of course, the addition we mentioned, Mickey Janis, who pitched 3 innings on Sunday, the knuckleballer. Former Baltimore Oriole, looked really solid in that debut. Rockers lost that game against Southern Maryland. That pitch down low in the dirt, and the count goes to 1-2. Got 3 innings from Uscali. It was good to see Neal back. Gave up a couple of unearned runs on the Alex Crosby home run. Sierra waves at that off-speed pitch down and away. Strike 3. Craig Stem with his 3rd strikeout of the ball game and his 4th shutout frame. We head to the bottom of the 4th. Rockers lead it 4-0 on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom 6, Dustin Beggs has given up a run in each of his first 3 innings. Rockers want to continue it. It's Lattimore, Ladendorf, and Alfonso. First pitch to Lattimore, that's a strike. This is important today, too. It is the first time that Quincy Lattimore has played the field since tweaking a hamstring about 3 weeks ago at Gastonia. He swings, lines this one into left field. That ball is going to get down and hop over the wall. It's a ground rule double. Good start to the 4th by Lattimore, and that goes right into what exactly we were about to say. While he's not had much action in the outfield right now, the important thing and the big thing for the Rockers and Quincy Lattimore is the fact that he's running the bases well right now, and that is certainly a good sign. He scored on the Giovanni Alfonso base hit back in the 2nd inning. And so good to see that while maybe he's only running about 90%, he doesn't look like he's laboring on the base paths, and that's huge. So here's Tyler Ladendorf, popped up his first time up. Shows bunts at it, but comes up empty in the count 0-1. Rockers are looking to build what is already a 4-run advantage. Well, you would think that sounds good with Craig Stem on the mound, and it does. Little extra never hurt. Here comes the 0-1. Fastball, Ladendorf on the ground to short, backhanded by Johns, and the throw to first base for 1 out. Don't yet want to say that Craig Stem's got all the help that he's going to need. It's very possible that he does, the way he's been throwing today. But not just for Stem. I think it's big for the Rockers offense to continue to get back on the train that started last week of scoring a lot of runs, took an unexpected stop Sunday at Southern Maryland, but looks like they have certainly picked up back in the swing of things, no pun intended, with 4 runs on 7 hits. Alfonso hits this off the end of the bat into left. Dueñez comes in, it drops for a base hit. Lattimore goes to third. Lattimore went about 2/3 of the way. Wasn't sure Dueñez was going to make the catch, but he didn't. And so Alfonso has a 2-hit game. Rockers have runners at the corners for Galino now, and 1 out, and another opportunity for High Point. Galino bounced into a double play his first time up. You wonder if the Rockers may consider sending Alfonso to stay out of the double play. Alfonso only has 2 steals this year, but he's above average in terms of speed and base running. First pitch to Galino, a fastball called strike in the count 0-1. Beggs comes set, 0-1 on the way. Alfonso rather does take off. It's a fastball called strike. It's a good peg, and they got him. So now tonight, Austin Rye has thrown out 2 Rocker would-be base stealers. That's the 2nd out of the inning, and now Galino down in the count 0-2. That has certainly cleaned up the bottom of the 4th for Dustin Beggs. Curveball and a defensive swing from Galino to stay alive, and the count remains 0-2. Was in trouble with runners at the corners and 1 out. Now he's 1 strike away from putting up a 0 on the board. Alfonso has been caught stealing twice, has successfully stolen twice this year. Here's the 0-2. Galino went around on the off-speed pitch down in the dirt. That's strike 3, and that's the end of the inning. Started promising with a leadoff double by Lattimore. Rockers had runners at the corners, but they don't score. We go to the 5th, and it's 4-0 High Point on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the fifth inning, Rockers with a 4-0 lead over the Genomes. It's 6, 7, and 8 coming up for Wild Health. That is Dueñez, Rye, and Miller. Let's go ahead and take a look at some of the crazy stories from the Major League Baseball trade deadline today. How about, this is just in the order that I'm seeing them. This is in no particular order in terms of significance. Just literally I'm scrolling down my list, and this is the order they appear. Yankees and Cardinals today. Yankees send left-handed starter Jordan Montgomery to the Cardinals for Harrison Bader. Bader, there's a chance that he doesn't even play this year. The rest of this year, he's on the injured list right now, as the first pitch to Dueñez misses ball one. Jordan Montgomery, though, has been a solid left-handed option in the Yankees rotation. There's a fastball to Dueñez, misses down and away. The count 2-0. Elsewhere, the Mets with a big-time relief pitcher addition of Michael Gibbons at 2.66 earned run average with the Cubs this year. Cubs obviously dealt off some of the pitching, but interestingly enough, held on to both Ian Happ and Wilson Contreras. Fastball to Dueñez, down and away, 3-0. Elsewhere, the Padres, the big blockbuster, obviously, it starts with that. Juan Soto goes to San Diego, a big haul back to the Nationals, including Luke Voit. A pitch inside, and it's a 4-pitch walk to Samir Dueñez. First walk issued by Stem, and that'll bring up Austin Rye, who popped up his first time up. But because of that, the Padres did have to make a move with Eric Hosmer, who rejected a trade, rejected being involved in that trade with Washington. Hosmer ends up in Boston by the end of the day. Phillies were busy today as well. They acquired not only David Robertson, former High Point Rocker from the Chicago Cubs, but also a late deal with the LA Angels. Rye shoots this one into shallow right, dropping fast as the baseball, and Wheel has to play it on a hop. So there's a bloop single for Austin Rye, and the Genomes have runners at first and second for Anderson Miller. But again, not only did David Robertson go to Philadelphia, they worked a late deal out with the LA Angels, sending Noah Syndergaard to Philadelphia, and that's the second trade between the two teams. Brandon Marsh already went to Philadelphia earlier on in the day. Raisel Iglesias, the Angels closer, also on the move today. Angels, an interesting situation of selling. This one lined into right field. Xander Wheel there makes the catch on the first pitch of the at-bat for out number one. Next batter is Gavin Johns. Iglesias on his way to Atlanta for Tucker Davidson and Jesse Chavez. Elsewhere, Whit Merrifield, in an interesting trade, heads to Toronto. If you remember a couple weeks ago, Merrifield was not able to go play for the Royals in Toronto because of his vaccination status. Now he's been traded to the Blue Jays, so that's going to be interesting to see how that shakes out the next couple of days. Trevor Rosenthal goes to the Brewers. Another big interdivisional acquisition, Michael Fulmer, formerly of the Tigers, heads now to Minnesota. 3.20 the ERA this year. Brandon Drury went to the Padres as well. That move kind of getting lost in the shuffle with everything else the Padres did today. This one hit high in the air to left off of the bat of Johns. Lattimore going back at the wall. He'll flag it down. 2 outs here in the inning. That'll bring up Luke Becker. The other big ones today. Yankees send Joey Gallo to the Dodgers for the Dodgers' 15th overall prospect. Darren Ruff heads to New York as the Giants send J.D. Davis to San Francisco. And, of course, interestingly, not only do also Jake Odorizzi to the Braves in exchange for Will Smith. I forgot that one happened earlier today as well. But again, interestingly enough, some of the moves were more interesting than some of the moves made, or some of the moves not made today. Becker takes a fastball strike in the count 0-1. You know, you talk about why the Angels trade most of their pitching. They keep Ohtani and Trout, but you know, for a team that is constantly stuck between contending and rebuilding. It just seems like more confusion as far as what direction this Angels team wants to take, sending mixed signals, keeping their stars, at least offensively, but getting rid of some of their best pitching. And the Cubs also hanging on to Contreras and Happ. Maybe they feel like they're not that far away in terms of rebuilding, or those are the pieces they want to rebuild around. And I think the Giants send a strong message today, not trading Rodon, not trading any of their other pieces. They said, look, we're still trying to get into the postseason this year. It's been a disappointing recent stretch for the Giants, but you certainly see a situation where this team catches fire like they did early on in the year. This is a Giants team that could make a push for a postseason spot as far as the wild card is concerned, but I think everybody right now is looking at the Padres. They have gone all in at the poker table. This one hit on the ground to third base off of the glove of Michael Russell, picked up by Alfonso. No, it got past him. Here's the throw to second base from Lattimore, and the throw is going to go behind the runner. Coming in and scoring is Samir Dueñez. So it's a base hit for Becker. Dueñez will score. Austin Rye goes to second, and it is a 4-1 Rockers lead. So the batter, Felix P.A., now 0 for 2. Here comes the first pitch to P.A. There's a fastball strike. One on the way. Stem holds the set. And now the righty fires off speed. Popped up into shallow left. This should get high point out of the fifth. A shallow right, rather. Sander Wheel there. And makes the catch for the final out of the inning. Genomes get on the board. An RBI base hit from Luke Becker. Rockers, though, will hang on to the lead. And with that, we're halfway home. Bottom of the fifth. Next, Rockers lead it 4-1 on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Rockers fans, Brittany coming to you live from the High Pint. We want to thank you all for joining us yet again for another Rockers homestand. We enjoy seeing you at Truist Point Stadium. Be sure to visit the High Pints located directly behind home plate on the concourse for delicious craft beers and Rockers team swag. We guarantee there is something in there for everybody. Yes, even your babies and your furry friends.
Bottom of the fifth inning. Rockers still lead by 3. Genomes got on the board on the top of the fifth. It is the top of the lineup here. Russell, Aklinski, and Jerry Downs. First pitch from Dustin Beggs, high and tight to Russell. The count 1-0. fastball inside. Beggs has gone in twice now on Russell. The count 2-0. Beggs fires, 2-0 on the way. Another tight fastball. He's gone in 3 consecutive pitches. And the count 3-0. Rockers looking to get another leadoff man aboard. There's a fastball inside, and he got it. Well, both of these pitchers have been pretty spot on with control today. Beggs has walked one and hit one. Stem has walked one, but otherwise it's been a clean day for the two of them. So here comes Ben Aklinski, 1 for 2. Aklinski was also caught stealing his last time up. Dustin Beggs, before the at-bat begins, asking for a new baseball. He gets it. Here comes the first pitch to Aklinski. Slider just missing the low and outside corner. Beggs put his arms up to his side saying, where was that one? On the way. Righty fires. Aklinski ground ball, third base side. That is a fair ball, and it gets over the head of the third baseman, Becker. If this was a natural field, you would have seen chalk kick up from where that baseball hit right on the line. Becker jumped for it. The ball tipped off of his glove, so it's a base hit for Aklinski, his second of the game. The Rockers' 9th of the game. And that'll bring up Jerry Downs, 1 for 1, a double, and a sac fly. Once again, Rockers trying to put pressure on the Genomes in terms of traffic on the base paths. 2 aboard, nobody out. Dustin Beggs at 58 pitches. That's not bad. Jerry Downs hits this one on the ground up the middle, a base hit. They are waving around Michael Russell, and now the ball's misplayed by Anderson Miller in center. That'll allow Aklinski to head to third. Anderson Miller bobbles the ball in center field, but it's an RBI base hit from Jerry Downs. Rockers get the run back. It is 5-1. For Jerry Downs, his second RBI of the game, give him 52 on the year. High Point runners at the corners. 5 runs, 10 hits for High Point. We're just past the halfway point. Here's Xander Wheel. 1 for 2 with an RBI triple his last time up. First pitch to Wheel. Swing and a miss. Slider. And the count 0-1. Rockers offense very much picking up where it left off yesterday. Beggs ready. 0-1 on the way. That's down in the dirt. Blocked up nicely by the catcher, Rye. Throw goes down to second. Downs is out. Here comes Aklinski. He'll score. A delayed steal there, and the Rockers swipe home. It is now 6-1, and Aklinski picks up his 12th or his 13th steal of the year. Here's the pitch to Wheel. That misses for a ball. The count 2-1. So a little bit of excitement here. The double steal with Aklinski swiping home. The 2-1 to Wheel. Ropes this one third base side and foul. The count 2-2. It's about the only success the Rockers have had on the base paths today. went out 3 times. Here's the 2-2 to Wheel. Curveball, and again grounded third base side and foul. Jamie Keefe will scoop it up. The count remains 2-2. Logan Morrison waiting in the on-deck circle. 2-2 on the way, though, to Wheel. Off speed, down and away. That's a good take. That's a pitch that sometimes Xander Wheel will get greedy and chase that one, but did not that time. Count goes full. Payoff pitch on the way from Beggs. Takes a long look in from Austin Rye, now ready with the 3-2. High fastball, ball 4. Another base runner for High Point. That'll bring up Logan Morrison, 1 for 2 with a double. And Austin Rye is going to go out and talk to Dustin Beggs, which gives me a minute to talk to you and tell you that there is still a little bit of time left and a little bit of space left. If you have a high school baseball player who's looking to play ball at the next level, Rockers a 3-day college prep baseball camp tomorrow. Tomorrow is Wednesday. Tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday from 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. each day. It's for high schoolers to continue to hone their skills as well as getting a better understanding of how the recruiting process works and what college coaches and college programs are looking for. That sounds like something your high schooler would be interested in. Sign up at highpointrockers.com. Curveball in there for a strike to Logan Morrison, and the count 0-1. One on the way. Beggs holds the set now, fires fastball inside to Morrison, and the count goes to 1-1. A right-hander has started to get up in the bullpen for the Genomes. Beggs is just at 68 pitches. Here comes the pitch. Fastball. Nope, inside. Thought that Calvin Baker was about to call that, but he didn't. The count 2-1. Wheel takes his lead off of first. 1 out. Logan Morrison looking to add to his RBI total. Asks for time. Entire playing surface in shade now. Sun is bouncing off of the Stock and Grain Assembly Hall building over in center field. The windows there. Very large windows. Here's the 2-1 off speed. Morrison ropes it into right field. A base hit. A 2-hit game for Logan. Wheel will stop at second. Rockers' first 5 hitters this inning have all reached base. Walk, single, single, walk, single. That'll bring up Quincy Lattimore. He's 2 for 2 with a couple of doubles. Mark Minikazi still trying to will Dustin Beggs to get himself out of this inning. You want to be able to keep the designated hitter, of course, especially when his name is Chris Davis. And Beggs will step off here. 2 already in this inning for High Point. They have a chance to add more. Already lead by 5. Beggs ready. First pitch to Lattimore. Fastball called strike up at the top of the zone. And the count 0-1. Wheel, a short lead at second base. Middle infield is pinched in, looking for the double play ball. Lattimore takes low. 1 ball, 1 strike now. But also nobody holding Logan Morrison on at first. Lattimore chases that off-speed pitch low. Fouled off in the count 1-2. Here comes the pitch. Hit on the ground to third. Could be two. Becker goes to second for one. Paredes with the relay to first base. It's in time. And it is around the horn. 5-4-3, the double play. Rockers score two, however. And they extend their lead now 6-1 as we head to the top of the sixth inning on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the sixth inning, Craig Stem's first pitch, a fastball that hits Chris Davis. Well, that's one way to keep the home run bat from doing damage. Davis is hit with a fastball. He'll head down to first base. That'll bring up Jimmy Paredes now, 2 for 2. Rockers with a 6-1 lead. Paredes comes into the left-hand box. Craig Stem has been wheeling and dealing today, 75 pitches through 5. Jimmy Paredes has got him for a couple of singles. One not so hard hit, but the other one a line shot. This one hit right on the ground into right field. It gets through a base hit. Davis holds at second. Jimmy Paredes, a trio of singles today. This is a lot like how the last inning started. A walk and a single in the fifth, a hit by pitch, and a single here in the sixth. Here's Moises Sierra, 0 for 2. Genomes got on the board in the fifth. Craig Stem looking to bounce back and shut him down here in the sixth inning, but not exactly an ideal start to the frame. A pitch low, and the count 1-0. 90% of Stem's starts this year, though, have gone at least 6 full innings. Only one inning or one appearance went 5 innings. Everything else has gone 6 or more. 1-0 on the way to Sierra. Stem fires. That's down in the dirt. Blocked up by Galino. And stays close by. He's able to keep all the runners at their particular bases. But this particular brand of excellence that we have seen from Stem today, as Frank Viola goes out and talks But this is really right in line with what we've seen from him this year. His ERA at home coming into today, 3.10. 1 run in 5 innings so far. He is right on line with what we expected to see. Well, the Rockers' home series against the Genomes continues tomorrow. It's 273 night. If your zip code begins with the numbers 273 in that order, 50% off of your ticket order at the box office with proof of that being your address. Of course, Thirsty Thursday at the ballpark. Select beers, $1. Thursday night's game at Truist Point for both games. 6:35 first pitch. Gates open at 6. Two balls, no strikes to Sierra. And Stem fires, fastball down and away, 3-0. He's one bad one away from loading the bases. This is the first really big threat for the Genomes today, as junior Rincon looked like he started to stand up in the Rockers bullpen, but I don't see if anybody actually throwing down there. Here's the 3-0. That's down and away, ball 4. So a 4-pitch walk to Sierra. And that has loaded the bases for the Genomes with Samir Dueñez up, and I think that's going to get the Rockers bullpen up as well. Dueñez today 0 for 1 has also walked and scored. The good thing is for the Rockers, with the 5-run lead, you can let Stem kind of work his way through this a little bit. Although if I'd say about 2 runs come in and score, you really see the Rockers bullpen start to ramp up. Nobody out, top 6, bases loaded. First pitch, Dueñez hits it on the ground to third base, or to first base rather. Downs' only play is to first. So Chris Davis scores. It is 6-2 now on the RBI ground out by Dueñez, his 26th run batted in. Paredes goes to third, Sierra to second. That'll bring up Austin Rye 1 for 2. Stem is ready. First pitch on the way to Rye. This one hit in the air, right field side, it's foul. And the count 0-1. Looks like the Rockers getting set to have somebody up in the bullpen. We see a catcher down here. Cam Cotter is going to be playing goalie, if you will. And here comes the 0-1. Fastball grounded foul. And the count 0-2. Bryce Hensley is the arm up in the High Point bullpen. Stem trying to navigate himself out of some trouble here in the 6th. Base hit here would score 2 and put the Genomes right back into it. Curveball, swing and a miss. Rye down on strikes. He's frustrated that he couldn't do anything. And that's the second out of the inning, brings up Anderson Miller. Anderson Miller hitting at 264. Sorry, I heard the PA announcer say it was the catcher. I was making sure that I had the right hitter. This is Anderson Miller. And Stem fires, fastball inside, and the count 1-0. Right-hander still up in the bullpen for the Genomes. We think Dustin Begg's probably done after 5 innings of work. Long enough to keep Chris Davis in the game. 1-0 on the way, high and tight, the fastball from Stem. And the count 2-0. He's up at 85 pitches now. I think Jamie Keefe probably caps him after 6 innings. Just simply because it seems that Stem has lost a little bit of it here in the 6th inning. It's been a great outing, but you can tell he's laboring a little bit now. There's a called strike to Miller, 2-1. Stem takes a long look in, comes set now, 2-1 on the way. Fires off speed down and in, tried to get Miller to chase it, but Miller did not do so. Gavin Johns in the on-deck circle. He'll be the next hitter. Here comes the 3-1. Stem fires. This one tapped foul towards the Rockers dugout. And it's a two-hopper right to Logan Morrison at the bottom step. Three balls, 2 strikes now. And Stem fires off speed low. They're going to see if he went. He did not, ball 4. Close call there. But it's a walk to Miller, and that'll bring up Gavin Johns, who's 0 for 2. So the Rockers' lead is 4. It is 6-2. Bases are loaded and 2 outs. Tying run at the plate. First pitch on the way to Johns. He's hitting at 208. Fastball. There's a strike, and the count 0-1. So we get to the bottom of the 6th. High Point will have the bottom third of their lineup coming up. Stem is ready. 0-1 on the way. And the righty delivers. Fastball fouled straight back, and the count 0-2. Now he's 1 strike away from getting out of this 6th inning. 6 innings of good work today for Stem. Shakes off Galino, now gets the sign he wants. 0-2 on the way. And the righty lifts the leg, bounces that one. Good block by Galino, but no offering by Gavin Johns. So it's 1 ball and 2 strikes. Again, if the Rockers and Genomes are tied in terms of overall record, and there's 1 wild card spot available right now, the tiebreaker goes to the Genomes. So if the Rockers win tonight, they move 1 game ahead in the standings. Here's the pitch, hit on the ground, first base side. It will roll foul. So that is why this is a very important series for High Point. You take 2 out of 3. You at least make it so there's not a tie. You need to do more than that to try to take the tiebreaker away from the Genomes. You need to win 5 out of 6 between the last 6 games between these 2 teams this year, including tonight. And so while that may be a bit of a tall ask, what you can at least do is move ahead of them in terms of overall standings. Both teams 46 wins against 43 losses coming into today. Today, game number 90. Swing and a miss, high fastball. Johns chases it, and Stem leaves the bases loaded. We go to the bottom of the 6th inning. 1 run does come in for the Genomes, and it's 6-2. So we head to the 7th, or the bottom of the 6th, rather, excuse me, on the Rockers Baseball Network. So to the bottom of the sixth we go. The Genomes go to the bullpen. We can give you the final line on Dustin Beggs today. He went 5 innings, gave up 6 runs, 5 of which were earned on 11 hits, 5 strikeouts, 3 walks. The new pitcher is Johendry Herrera. Let's see. There we go. I spelled his name wrong for a moment. There we go. Herrera, of course, began the year with York and is now a member of the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes. And Herrera comes into today with a 2-1 record. 4.07 is the earned run average. This is his 34th appearance. 42 innings this year, 21 walks, 27 strikeouts, and opponents hitting .250 against him. He'll be facing the bottom third of the Rockers lineup: Ladendorf, Alfonso, and Mike Galino here in the bottom of the sixth inning. Herrera ready. First pitch on the way. Ladendorf swings, grounds it to third. Becker picks up the in-between hop and the throw to first. He'll retire Ladendorf. 1 pitch, 1 out here in the sixth. That'll bring up Giovanni Alfonso, who's 2 for 2. There's nothing going on in the Rockers bullpen right now. Craig Stem is at 95 pitches. Bryce Hensley was throwing. Now, whether he's loose and ready to go or what remains to be seen. There's a fastball strike to Alfonso. Count 0-1. Two runs, 5 hits, 2 errors for the Genomes. 6-11-0, the line score for High Point. There's a fastball low to Alfonso, and they count 1-1. Herrera ready. He's rocking high pink socks. Here's the 1-1. Alfonso jammed, pops it up, shallow right. Going back is Sierra trying to make the basket catch, drops the ball. Alfonso is aboard. Boys, is Sierra trying to make the over-the-shoulder basket catch, trying to catch the Hail Mary ball on the way to the end zone, but drops it. And it's going to be a base hit for Alfonso, a 3-hit game. Not an easy play for Sierra. I think it's one he should have made. But not an easy one, to be fair, and Alfonso's got himself a 3-hit game. Rockers have Hensley back up in the bullpen now, so it looks like he may in fact be out for the 7th inning. Here's Mike Galino, 0 for 2. Check over to first base on Alfonso. Herrera will float it over to first. Here comes the first pitch of the at-bat to Galino, high and tight. Galino bends backwards like a game of limbo, and they count 1-0. How low can Mike Galino go? Low enough to get away from that pitch. A ball and no strikes. And Herrera fires. Floater outside, and they count 2-0. Top of the lineup, and Michael Russell waiting on deck. He's 0 for 1 today, but he's reached base twice and scored twice. That's pretty good odds. Herrera ready. 2-0 is on the way. Fastball. Galino fouls it right into Calvin Baker. And now we know that we have a real game. Calvin Baker, you hate to see it happen to him. He's one of the nicest guys in the Atlantic League umpiring crew. But it's not a Rockers game if Calvin Baker doesn't get hit by a foul ball. If they ever make baseball bingo here at Truist Point, I feel like that needs to be on the card because it's a very frequent occurrence. 2 balls and 1 strike. Herrera ready. And Alfonso takes off for second. The pitch is inside. There's no throw from Rye, and it's a stolen base for Alfonso. Pitch missed inside, so it's 3-1. Here's the pitch. Galino swings. Towering pop-up. Right field side. It gets out of play. And the count goes full. Runner at second now with 1 out. Opportunity for the Rockers to add to their lead. It is 6-2 right now. Here's the pitch. Fastball. And again, Galino fouls it off. So if, in fact, Craig Stim done today, he will slide into third in the Atlantic League in earned run average at 3.49, excuse me. Herrera ready. Payoff pitch on the way to Galino. That's down low, ball 4. So a base hit and a walk. Rockers have 2 aboard and 1 out. The batter, Michael Russell, who's 0 for 1, but he's reached twice and scored twice. Runner in scoring position is Alfonso. Today, High Point 5 out of 11 with runners in scoring position. Russell hits it off the end of the bat towards third base. Becker goes to second, and that's all the Genomes are going to get. Paredes bobbled the ball in the transfer. So Alfonso to third. Galino is out 5-4 for the second out of the inning. Russell goes to first. Here is Ben Aklinski now, who's 2 for 3. Clarification, he did not steal home his last time up. His heading home was not part of a double steal attempt. After Downs was out, it was a delayed attempt. And since Downs was out at second, Aklinski advances technically on the throw from the catcher. Check over to first. And they about got Russell, but he's back in safely. And we'll wait at least another couple of moments before the first pitch to Aklinski. Another check over to first. Russell once again back. All-time leader in steals for High Point at 50. Only 9, though, this year. It's going to be hard-pressed to reach his numbers from his first couple of seasons. That pitch away in the count 1-0. Actually, all-time number of 51. 21 steals in each his first 2 seasons, and the 9 this year. A ball and no strikes to Aklinski. Herrera fires slider strike at the bottom of the zone, and the count goes to 1-1. Once again, nobody throwing in the High Point bullpen. You've got to assume Hensley is ready. Comes the 1-1. That's low from Herrera. The count 2-1. Now there are 2 outs in the inning, but the Rockers setting themselves up nicely to get a run back. Hitters count for Aklinski. Johendry Herrera fires off speed, down and away. It's now 3-1. Herrera has thrown 16 pitches, only 8 of them for strikes. Alfonso off of third, Russell off of first. Here comes the 3-1. Herrera fires, Aklinski a check swing, it's inside. Rockers load the bases here in the bottom of the 6th. Brings up Jerry Downs with the bases loaded. Been a good day for Jerry, a sac fly, a double, and a base hit. You want to talk about a guy who's swinging the bat well. Everybody point both hands right at the man at the plate. That guy. A little bit of general milling about in the Genomes bullpen right now. First pitch on the way to Downs from Herrera, off speed inside, and the count 1-0. Tomorrow, 6:35 first pitch, it's Liam O'Sullivan for the Rockers against former High Point Rocker Max Povsey. Getting the ball for the Genomes tomorrow. Here comes the 1-0 to Downs. That's down in the dirt, and it clips Downs on the foot. It's a bases loaded hit by pitch. Jerry Downs, a 3 RBI day. Perhaps maybe not the way he drew that one up, but it works. He's at 53 RBIs now. Alfonso scores, Russell to third, and Aklinski to second. Bases remain loaded with 2 outs. Here's Xander Wheel, 1 for 2. And Eli Villanueva is going to trot out really quickly and talk to Johendry Herrera and buy his bullpen a little bit of time. Bullpen starting to get up and throw in the Genomes side of the field. So while Eli Villanueva is out there, again, a reminder, limited spots available for the Rockers College Prep Baseball Camp. That begins tomorrow. It's tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. for high school ball players wanting to play ball at the next level. In addition to honing your baseball skills, the players will also learn about the recruiting process as well as what college coaches are expecting and looking for. For more information and to register your high schooler, highpointrockers.com. Again, a 3-day college prep camp tomorrow, Thursday, and Friday right here at Truist Point. To register and more information at highpointrockers.com. Bases loaded, 2 outs, Xander Wheel the batter. Here comes the pitch from Herrera. Fastball high and tight. That almost hit Xander. And the count 1-0. It's a right-hander up in the bullpen, by the way, for the Genomes. Trying to get ready in a hurry over there. Here comes the 1-0 to Wheel. Herrera fires curveball. That's a strike. And the count 1-1. I think Xander Wheel a little frustrated. Not at the call, but with himself. He didn't swing at that pitch, but his momentum was way out in front on that take. Here's the 1-1. Curveball, big swing from Wheel, fouls it off. That's all he managed to do. And the count moves to 1 ball, 2 strikes. High Point trying to extend the lead for Stem. Already 1 run in. Opportunity for more with the bases loaded. Herrera ready. 1 strike away from getting out of it, he is. Here's the 1-2. Popped up, foul, first base side. It'll go out of play. And it's 2 balls, 2 strike. 1 ball, 2 strikes still, excuse me. Morrison would be the next batter if Xander extends the 6th. Or will be the first batter in the 7th. Here's the 1-2. Curveball outside. A good take from Xander Wheel, 2-2. Bit of a lengthy inning for Herrera. He's only thrown 24 pitches, but feels like he's been in trouble pretty much from the beginning. Here's the 2-2 from Herrera. Fires curveball outside. Another good take from Xander. And the count is full. I don't know that Joe Hendry Herrera perhaps they would let him face another hitter if Xander Wheel walks or extends the inning in any stretch. Genome right-hander set. Runners all get a head start. Wheel swings, high fly ball into center. Anderson Miller, though, is there, and he'll flag it down for the final out of the 6th inning. Rockers score 1. They leave the bases loaded, however. And with that, we head to the top of the 7th. Rockers lead it 7-2 on the Rockers Baseball Network.
Rockers fans, Brittany here, and I want to thank you for joining us all weekend long for this homestand. Please be sure to check out highpointrockers.com for our full game day schedule, ticket sales, and online merchandise.
Top 7, Rockers go to the bullpen. Craig Stem, 6 good innings of work, gave up 2 runs, 5 hits, 5 strikeouts, and 3 walks. The Rockers will turn it over to left-hander Bryce Hensley. Hensley this year 2-2 with a 2.54 earned run average. This is his 37th appearance. 49 2/3 innings pitched, 18 walks, 34 strikeouts. The opponent's hitting .213 against him. Hensley will face the top of the lineup, Becker, PA, and Davis. For the Genomes, Becker is a switch hitter who will hit right. Felix PA, a left-hand hitter. Chris Davis, a right-hand hitter. Then you get another switch hitter. So this is not so much for the matchups here as it is just Bryce Hensley has started to become a reliable late-inning guy for the Rockers, sometimes even a multiple-inning sort of guy. Hensley's first pitch to Becker, who's 1 for 3 with an RBI base hit. Fastball strike at the bottom of the zone, and the count 0-1. Hensley set, and the 0-1 on the way. Another fastball strike at the knees. That's a good thing about Bryce. You know he's on when he's able to get that low strike right at the bottom of the zone. Just painting that bottom line of the imaginary strike zone through his first 2 pitches. Here comes an 0-2. Hensley fires. That fastball fouled off, and the count remains 0-2. One inning from now, in the top of the 8th inning, we will have another peek at the Atlantic League scoreboard, see what else is going on. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Good pitch from Hensley. Took a little something off of that one. And that's the first out of the inning, brings up Felix P.A. P.A. is grounded out to second, popped out to the catcher, and flied out to right. 2 of his 8 home runs this year come against High Point. Hensley ready. First pitch on the way. Off speed, strike inside corner. Bryce Hensley working all the corners today. Pretty solid crowd here at the ballpark for the Tuesday night. PA swings. Towering fly ball, center field. Klinsky calling for it and makes the catch in the left center field gap. And that's the second out of the inning. That'll bring up Chris Davis, 0-2 with a hit by pitch. Right-hander is still up in the bullpen for the Genomes, so it appears Johendry Herrera finished after his 1 inning of work. Here comes the pitch. That one hit into right field. Long run for Wheel. He's not going to be able to make the play other than snagging it on a hop, a base hit for Davis. And that is a 2-out base hit. Is the Genomes' 6th hit of the contest, and that'll bring up Jamie Paredes, who is responsible for half of the hits. Paredes 3 for 3. All 3 have been base hits up the middle. 2 of them hard hit. Fouls that off in the count 0-1. Big difference. We see him from the right-hand side now. We've said this about Paredes a lot, but if you've missed it, better power hitter from the left, a better overall hitter from the right. Here comes the 0-1. That's lined up the middle, a 4-hit game for Paredes. 4 singles for Jimmy. And runners at first and second now. Moises Sierra, the batter. Sierra today 0 for 2, is also walked. After Bryce Hensley got the first 2 outs very quickly in the top of the 7th. Genomes making it interesting here. This is just the second time that Wild Health has been here. This pitch grounded foul, third base side, and really a pretty different cast of characters too. These 2 rosters have changed a ton since opening weekend. But during that opening series, Genomes and Rockers split it 2 games apiece. High Point won the first one. Genomes took the next 2, and the Rockers rallied to win the final behind Neil Uscali. Here comes the 0-1. Outside in the count 1-1. Uscali back in the Rockers rotation. Pitched 3 innings on Sunday in his return. Talked to Frank Viola earlier today. Said he looked a little rusty, but it was also to be expected. He made the comment, which we all knew. He said, Neil Stuff plays in this league. It'll work fine once he gets back into the swing of things. That pitch inside. And the count 2-1 to Sierra. In the bottom of the 7th, High Point has Morrison, Lattimore, Ladendorf, the 3 scheduled hitters. Hensley looking for the final out of the top of the 7th. Here comes the 2-1. This one hit in the air into right center field. This one could be trouble. Yep, it's going to get past to Klinsky. Coming in and scoring is Davis. And they're going to wave around Jimmy Paredes. He will score as well. Sierra on his way to third. Here comes the throw. It's going to come home and be well up the line. It is a 2-run triple for Moises Sierra. It's now a 7-4 ball game. So all of a sudden, the Genomes making this interesting. They have scored in 3 straight innings. That'll bring up Samir Dueñez now. So for 2 with a walk and a run batted in on a ground out. All of a sudden thinking the Rockers weren't going to have to use the closer today, and now it becomes a save situation. If things hold the way they are, 3-run lead for High Point. First pitch to Dueñez inside. Hensley's been tagged for a couple of runs here recently. Not enough to say he's going through a rough patch, but probably more an uneven patch, may be the best way to describe it. That pitch misses down 2-0. Following Dueñez is Austin Rye. Here's the pitch. Hit on the ground, kind of jammed him. It's a weak ground ball to second. Ladendorf scoops it up, and the underhand toss to Downs for the final out of the inning. But 2 runs will come in and score on the triple from Moises Sierra. It is a 7-4 Rockers lead, and it is stretch time. We head to the 7th inning stretch on the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 7th inning. Genomes go back to the bullpen. It is Akeem Bostic. Bostic will relieve Johendry Herrera, who went 1 inning, gave up a run on a hit, and walked 2. And now we mentioned Akeem Bostic comes in. We saw him last week when the Rockers were at Wild Health on the year 0-1, 3.60 the ERA. This is his 6th appearance. 1 walk, 1 strikeout. Opponents hitting 186 against, or 286 against him. Rockers have action up in the bullpen. This is trying to see here. I think it's Cam Aker. Cole Aker, excuse me. So many numbers have changed recently. Yes, it is Cole Aker who is up in the Rockers bullpen. Facing Bostic, though, it'll be Morrison, Lattimore, and Ladendorf. High Point leads by 3. 4 runs, 8 hits, 2 errors for the Genomes, 7-12-0. The line score for High Point. Logan Morrison, swing and a miss, also loses his helmet in the process. Bostic shakes off Austin Rye, now gets the sign he wants. And the 0-1 on the way. Bounces that one in the turf. And the count goes to 1-1. A ball and a strike. Bostic fires. That's low. And the count goes to 2-1. Rockers have had the lead since the first inning. However, the Genomes have scored 3 innings in a row. High Point has scored their last 2. And in fact, they've scored every inning except for the 4th. High from Bostic, 3-1. Morrison hitting 264. And to fight off a yawn there. I think we shouldn't have that after an off day, right? Here comes a 3-1. Morrison hits this one hard into the Rockers' bullpen foul. And the count goes full. Here's the high fastball inside, ball 4. Logan Morrison, a leadoff walk. The Rockers have 5 out of 7 leadoff batters have reached. And 2 of them have scored. Morrison obviously not really a threat to run. First pitch to Lattimore, that's high, 1-0. Lattimore today, a couple of doubles, and he's hit into a double play. One a hard hit double, one that hooked around the third base bag. It was more well placed. Big swing and a miss. And the count 1-1. Here comes the 1-1. Herrera fires. That's just inside. A good take on a close pitch. And the count 2-1. Herrera holds the set. 2-1 on the way. There's a fastball called strike outside corner. And the count 2-2. Here comes the pitch. Lattimore swings. Hot shot over to third base. It is scooped up by the third baseman Becker, but they're going to say that Becker did not catch it. So he goes to second for 1. That retires Morrison. Lattimore is safe at first. Morrison is out 5-4. That was another hot shot. Runner on first base is now Lattimore, and that brings up Tyler Ladendorf. Here's the first pitch to Ladendorf. There's a fastball strike. And the count 0-1. High Point has scored either 1 or 2 runs every time they've scored. 1 in the first, 2 in the second, 1 in the third, 2 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth. High and tight, the fastball to Ladendorf, 1-1. Genomes 1 in the fifth, 1 in the sixth, and 2 in the 7th. Here comes the 1-1. Bostic fires high and tight again. Ladendorf goes down in the right-hand box to avoid being hit, and the count 2-1. Not a lot of strikes being thrown here from Bostic. Comes the 2-1. Ladendorf high and deep. It's foul, but way out of here. The count 2-2. The back end of the Rockers bullpen has been kind of fluid recently. Obviously, at the beginning of the year, it was first, Ladendorf hits this one just inside the left field line and fair. Lattimore is on his way to third base. They're going to hold him there. He's still not running 100%, but a double for Ladendorf. The Rockers with more runners in scoring position and another opportunity for Giovanni Alfonso. And with that, Tyler Ladendorf was the last Rocker needing to get on base today. Here's Alfonso, 3 for 3. Looking to do what Jimmy Paredes has done on the other side and make it a 4 for 4 night. But to finish that thought, at the beginning of the year, back of your bullpen, Choplik and Dull setting up for Chase and Bradford, but now Choplik injured, Bradford is retired. Dull has assumed the 9th inning, but what is the order in front of him? Alfonso fouls that off in the count 0-1. We've seen Mott, we've seen Hensley, we've seen Junior Rincon a couple of times. Comes the pitch. That bounces away from Rye, but not far enough for anybody to move. Infield has come in for the Genomes. Count is 1-1. Paredes today, 4 hits and a run scored. Alfonso, 3 hits, a run scored, and an RBI. Field has come in, trying to cut down Quincy Lattimore. Here comes the 1-1. Alfonso pokes it foul, right field side. And the count 1-2. Well, if he can just poke something deep enough into the outfield, the Rockers could get a run back. Bostic is ready. Here comes the 1-2 to Alfonso. Righty fires. It's a high fastball, 2-2. Lattimore at third, Ladendorf at second. Alfonso hitting right at 300. Mike Galino waiting to extend the inning after Alfonso. Here's the pitch. That's down low. Count full. And now Bostic one bad one away from loading the bases. Almost wonder if they just, maybe not the intentional walk, but the quote-unquote unintentional intentional walk here. Try their luck with Mike Galino, who's not been the Rockers' hottest bat recently. Here's the 3-2. Popped up. Foul territory, first base side. Long run, Moises Sierra. Is he going to run out of room? Yes, he will. And the count remains full. Bostic up to 22 pitches now. Still just 1 out. in the bottom of the 7th. Looks like Cesar Trejo is at the top of the on-deck circle with the bat. Alfonso lines it into right, a base hit. Lattimore will score. It is 8-4. A 4-hit game for Giovanni Alfonso. Drives in his second run of the game. Runners at the corners. And that'll bring up Mike Galino now. Galino 0 for 2 with a walk. Trejo was at the top step a moment ago, but looks like he's gone back. I think had Alfonso not been able to bring in a run, I think Trejo might have been the call there. But instead, they're going to let Galino hit now, and he'll pop this one up, and it'll go out of play up over our heads, and either onto the roof of the Catalyst Club or onto the seats, or onto the concourse area back behind. It's a good day for the Rockers offense. 8 runs on 14 hits. Hopefully they have a few more of each left before the night's said and done. Fastball in tight, 1-1. Here comes the 1-1 from Bostic. That's down low at the toes of Galino, and he'll scooch out of the way, and the count 2-1. Cam Aker continues to toss in the Rockers bullpen. He'll come in relief of Hensley in the 8th inning. Rockers have done a good job. Every time the Genomes have scored, High Point has answered. Galino, though, pops this one up in the infield. First base Sierra will make the catch. Second out of the inning. That'll bring up Michael Russell. Russell today 0 for 2 with a couple of walks. Or with a hit by pitch and a walk, technically, and a couple of runs scored. Russell looking for a hit. One of the Rockers' better bats the last couple of weeks of July. Fouls that off in the count 0-1. Anybody else find it hard to believe it's August 2nd right now? Join the club. Here comes an 0-1 from Bostic. Fastball. Russell shoots it into center field. It gets down a hit. Ladendorf scores, and it's 9-4. Michael Russell with his 28th run batted in. Alfonso moves up to second. That'll bring up Ben Aklinski, 2 for 3. And another right-hander up for the Genomes now. Bostic ready, first pitch to Aklinski. That's down and away in the count 1-0. With 2 outs in the inning, Bostic is at 30 pitches. High Point's lead again 5, which matches the largest lead they have had today. It's 6-1, now 9-4. That one just misses in the count 2-0. Aklinski's got the average up over 280 again, now sitting at 281. Here comes the 2-0. High fastball, 3-0. Bostic wasn't happy he didn't get the second pitch called a strike, and he probably has good reason. The other 2 did miss, but that second pitch does look like it should have been called. 3-0 on the way to Aklinski. He should be taking here, I would guess. Yep, ball 4. That'll load the bases for Jerry Downs. Russell heads to second. Alfonso to third. We'll see if Downs will get to face Bostic or not. Looking down in the Genomes bench area, I don't see Mark Minikazi at all. And so Jerry Downs will in fact hit against Bostic. Downs today, a couple of RBIs, a single and a double, and a hit by pitch. He's driven in 3. That one way inside, about had his second RBI hit by pitch tonight. And that will make it 1 ball, no strikes. The right-hander in the pin, you would think, has to face Xander Wheel, though, if Jerry Downs extends the inning. It wouldn't let Bostic pitch to another guy, I wouldn't think. 1-0 on the way. Fastball, Downs rolls over it, first base side, foul. And the count 1-1. Downs up to 53 runs batted in, right behind Ben Aklinski for second most on the team. Neither one, unless they go on a crazy tear and Xander Wheel stops, are going to catch Xander. Here comes the pitch. Broken bat, rolls down the first base side. It is foul. That bat absolutely shattered from Jerry Downs, and he's going to have to go get a new one. Jerry is left probably holding about 15% of the old one. Albert Gonzalez is head out to second base, where Jimmy Paredes will hand him the other 85%. So it's a ball and 2 strikes. Bostic trying to get out of a bases loaded jam. Rockers already have 2 in. Payoff pitch coming. Bostic fires, Downs grounds it to first. It's foul again. I can tell you could tell that Jerry Downs is feeling good at the plate. He is taking some very, very mighty swings. Here comes the 1-2. That's down low, and the count 2-2. Alfonso at third, Russell at second, Aklinski at first, 2-2 to Downs. Bostic takes a long look in, shakes off Austin Rye, looks like twice now, and then gets the sign he wants. Here's the 2-2. Slider, strike 3 looking, down goes Downs, down go the Rockers in the 7th. But 2 runs will score, and High Point leads it 9-5 as we head to the top of the 8th inning on the Rockers Baseball Network. Top of the 8th inning, Bryce Hensley goes 1 inning, gives up 2 runs, 3 hits, and strikes out 1. Rockers will turn it over now to right-hander Cole Aker. Aker split the season between High Point and Lancaster. 2-2 with a 5.33 earned run average. This is his 24th appearance overall. 25 1/3 innings, pitched 12 walks, 24 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .269 against him. Aker will face the bottom 3 in the lineup, Rye, Miller, and Johns. The 3 scheduled hitters. Rockers lead it 9-4 in the top of the 8th. We'll take a look at the Atlantic League scoreboard once again. Fill you in with everything else going on around the Atlantic League. First off, the Ducks was earlier a low-scoring game with the Ferry Hawks. The Ducks have pulled away in a hurry. It is now 7-1 in favor of Long Island. Davidson Romero, his 12th home run of the year. Scott Harkin pitched 5 innings of 1-run ball tonight. Top of the 8th inning from York. Good ball game, Peoples Bank Ballpark. First pitch, a fastball strike to Austin Rye here. Lancaster leads York 4-3. Shawan Dunston Jr. hit his first home run of the year for the Barnstormers. Nelly Rodriguez hit his 16th for the Revs. Telvin Nash his 6th. Cameron Gann went 5 2/3. Nick Travieso went 6th. This one hit on the ground to third base. Michael Russell on to first. And that's the first out of the 8th inning. And that'll bring up Anderson Miller 0 for 2 with a walk. Elsewhere, Charleston is down 4-2 in the bottom of the 8th inning to Southern Maryland. Darrell Thompson has pitched the first 8 innings. You wonder if he'll come out for the 9th or not. He is at 97 pitches. He could very well do it. Thompson, 8 innings of 2-run ball. Braxton Lee hit his 2nd home run of the year. Edwin Espinal hit his first for Charleston. Denson Hull gave up 4 runs in 5 innings. Gastonia had a 9-1 lead over Lexington. It is now 9-5. Honey Hunters used a big 6-run first to grab the lead. Emmanuel Tapia hit a 2-run home run. Courtney Hawkins hit his league-leading 32nd home run tonight. He's up to 80 RBIs. Wes Albert, the starting pitcher for Lexington, only made it 1 inning. Brett Schneider came in, pitched 4 innings after that to balance things out. This is hit on the ground up the middle, off of the bat of Anderson Miller. It's a 1-out single, and that'll bring up Gavin Johns, and that is a look at our Atlantic League scoreboard. So if things hold the way they are, Lancaster will maintain a 1-game lead on Southern Maryland, which means 1 wild card spot is open, and it would be the Rockers if they hold on and win today against the Genomes. Again, still 42 games to go after today. Aker curveball, swing and a miss, 0-1. There's a fastball hit right back up the middle. That'll drop a base hit. Gavin Johns, his first hit of the game. That'll bring up Luke Becker now. Becker 1 for 4. Team's just trading runs right now. Started at the top of the 5th inning. Genomes scored 1. Rockers answered with 2. Genomes scored 1. Rockers answered with 1. Genomes scored 2. Rockers answered with 2. Now the Genomes threatening again here in the 8th. It has been quite the back and forth here for the last 3+ innings. Aker ready, first pitch to Becker. Righty fires a fastball strike in the count 0-1. There's a right-hander in the pen for Wild Health. Rockers bullpen quiet. Aker will get them through this 8th inning, and I think depending on what the score is then, determines what High Point will elect to do in the 9th. Cole steps off. Cole Aker steps off. Now he's ready with an 0-1. Righty fires a fastball that misses just off of the corner. And the count 1-1. Runner at second is Miller. Runner at first is Johns. Again, a reminder, tomorrow 2-7-3 night at the ballpark. Here comes the 1-1. Off speed, and that's going to hit Becker on the front foot. Bases loaded. Miller heads to third. Johns to second. And Becker to first. If your zip code begins with 273, you can bring proof that that is your zip code to the ballpark, the box office tomorrow. You can receive 50% off your ticket order. Again, 2-7-3 night at the ballpark tomorrow. Gates open at 6 o'clock. First pitch is 6:35. If you can't make it, we got you covered. You can tune in on MixLR or on YouTube. Rockers Baseball Network will bring you all the action tomorrow as Max Povsey against Liam O'Sullivan. Aker ready. Here comes the first pitch to Felix P.A. way outside. And the count 1-0. And Mike Galino is going to go out and talk now, as is Frank Viola. So we'll continue and let you know a couple other things coming up at the ballpark. Thirsty Thursday at the ballpark. Select beers $1 at Truist Point. And also tomorrow begins the third of 4 summer baseball camps put on here at Truist Point. This one is the college prep camp for high schoolers wanting to play ball at the next level. Work on your skills, but then also helping high schoolers understand how the recruiting process works and what college coaches and programs will be looking for when they pick up their next round of high school players to play at their collegiate programs. For more information and to register, highpointrockers.com. Again, a 3-day camp beginning tomorrow. Tomorrow, Thursday and Friday, 9 a.m. to 1 p.m. Registration and more questions can be answered at highpointrockers.com. Here comes the 1-0 to PA. Way back to the backstop. Goes back to Mike Galino at the plate, and he's able to keep everybody still. Ryan Dole is up and throwing in the Rockers bullpen now. Cam Aker uncorked that one, and Ryan Dole fortunate that it came right back to him. So the bases are loaded and 1 out. And the Genomes are trying to once again work their way back into this one. 2-0 to PA. Aker's fastball swing and a miss. PA loses his helmet. That's how hard he swung. But he comes up empty in the count 2-1. Two-1 on the way. Aker holds the set and fires a high fastball. PA, though, did not offer. 3-1. Ryan Dole throwing rapidly in the Rockers bullpen. We saw him go for a 4-inning save the other day. They could be asking more from him here today. Maybe they'll need 5 outs from Ryan Dole. Here comes the 3-1 to PA. Aker fires, swing and a miss, the high fastball again. PA comes up empty. And the count full. Waiting on deck is Chris Davis, who you do not want to see in this situation. Payoff pitch coming. Aker will fire. High, ball 4. It's an RBI walk. It is 9-5 as PA's 30th run batted in. Nobody has made the move yet. Here comes Jamie Keefe. So Jamie Keefe is going to go out. He's going to make the call for Ryan Dole, and I think the plan, it's a simple one. Ryan Dole needs to protect what is a 4-run lead, and he needs to get the next 5 outs. So Aker is done. Ryan Dole is in, and we'll step aside and give him a chance to throw. We'll get you his numbers when we come back on the Rockers Baseball Network. So we can't quite close the book on Cam Cotter yet, but we can tell you about Ryan Dole, who comes in here. And Ryan Dole, 3-0 with a 2.83 earned run average, 7 saves and 10 chances, 5 walks, 48 strikeouts. And opponents hitting 190 against him, and he will start off by facing his former teammate, Chris Davis. Ryan Dole pitched for Oakland 2017 and 2018 while Chris Davis was becoming a star. First pitch, Davis did not go around, and the count 1-0. Bases loaded and 1 out. Chris Davis in 2017. No swing and a miss there in the count 1-1. In 2017, Chris Davis hit 43 home runs, drove in 110 runs, while Ryan Dole was in the bullpen, appearing in 49 games for the A's. Then in 2018, Dole made 28 appearances, and Chris Davis hit 48 home runs. He swings, lines this one up the middle. Leklinski is going to not be able to catch it. It gets down a base hit. It's going to be a 1-base advancement. RBI single for Davis, and I think all the Rockers breathe a sigh of relief, but only a short one because Jimmy Paredes is coming up now. So it is now a 9-6 game. Jimmy Paredes is 4 for 4 tonight. Runners at second and third are the responsibility of Cole Aker. So again, still can't quite close the book on his night yet. It is 6 runs on 11 hits, 2 errors for the Genomes as Paredes swings and misses. 9 runs, 15 hits, and no errors for High Point. This is hit central here today. Dole is ready, 0-1 on the way. Slider, that's down. Did Paredes go? Yes, they're going to say he did. That's a big strike in the count 0-2. "26 combined hits between High Point and the Genomes. Genomes came into today hitting .282 against the Rockers, Rockers were hitting just .213 against Wild Health, but they're out hitting them tonight 15-11. High fastball. Paredes fouls it off, and the count 0-2. Rockers love a double play ball. They'll take a strikeout. Tying run stands at first. That's the big thing. Here comes the pitch. Paredes swing and a miss, strike 3. That's a big strikeout for Ryan Dole. Second out of the inning, and that'll bring up Moises Sierra. Sierra today 1 for 3, had a 2-run triple his last time up. Here comes the first pitch to Sierra. There's a strike on the low and inside corner. 2 right-handers throwing in the bullpen now for the Genomes, although one of them still wearing a sweatshirt. So I don't know how serious his throwing is. There's a right-hander that looks very much like he is throwing to come into the game. Here comes the pitch. That's down low. Sierra does not chase. Count 1-1. Genomes have battled back in this one. Here comes the 1-1. Hit on the ground to short. Alfonso goes to second, and that is a big out. Ryan Dole gets out of a bases-loaded jam, including the tying run being left on base. And with that, we head to the bottom of the 8th inning. Rockers still with the lead. It is 9-6. On the Rockers Baseball Network. Bottom of the 8th inning. Akeem Bostic, 1 inning, 2 runs, both earned, 3 hits, 1 strikeout, and a couple of walks. They'll turn it over to the right-hander, former Honey Hunter and former Dirty Bird, Alexis Candelario. This year, 0-1. He's given up 12 runs in 6 innings, 3 walks, 4 strikeouts. Opponents hitting .469 against him. And for the Rockers, it'll be Wheel, Morrison, and Lattimore coming up. The Genomes have scored in 4 straight innings. Rockers going to try to do the same. Xander Wheel, RBI triple today, part of his 1 for 3 afternoon or evening. Xander steps up to the right-hand box. Candelario, another Genomes pitcher with the high pink socks. None of their position players have done it although 3 of the 4 infielders with high black socks. First pitch to Wheel, check swing on the slider. It's a called strike, and the count 0-1. We're going to have an interesting day of baseball. That pitch down low. The count 1-1. Or interesting week of baseball. Obviously, this 3-game series. Then they head to Caramont Health Park for what we thought was going to be a 3-game series. Yield takes low 2-1. Found out earlier today that Friday will be a doubleheader beginning at 3:15. I don't know who scheduled that, but obviously they weren't a Gastonia fan because the Honey Hunters are coming back in at about, according to what I talked to their radio guy earlier today, and that pitch will bounce up and hit Calvin Baker. We already had our hitting the home plate umpire quota for today. We didn't need another one. Baker's all right. But anyways, Gastonia is going to get in from Lexington at probably about 5:30 or so Friday morning. Get a couple hours of sleep, and then they have an afternoon ball game, mid-afternoon ball game. So I don't know who scheduled that, but kind of feel like wasn't exactly done with the best interest of the Honey Hunters team in mind. Rockers are going to try to take advantage of it, though. Here's the 3-1 to Wheel. Fastball strike in the inside corner. Count goes full. Logan Morrison in the on-deck circle. Here comes the 3-2. Fastball, that's fouled off, and the count stays full. Rockers already obviously have the lead. They're just trying to see if they can pad it a little bit before we head to the ninth. Looks like we're seeing some heat lightning out in the distance. We're going to be able to play through no problem, but just providing a little bit of backdrop for us. Here comes the 3-2. That's low ball 4, a walk for Xander Wheel. And once again, the Rockers get the leadoff man aboard. That'll bring up Logan Morrison now. Morrison 2 for 3. Candelario takes a peek in. Ready for the first pitch to Morrison. Morrison, the big double earlier today. See if that wakes his bat up a little bit. That's a powerful bat the Rockers could use. He'll take a strike, though, and the count 0-1. Candelario ready. 0-1 on the way. And fires. Morrison fouls it off in the count 0-2. Quincy Lattimore waits in the on-deck circle. He's been swinging a good bat. Well, for High Point, in 4 of their last 5 games now, they have scored 7 runs or more. Only one they didn't was when they lost. 5-1 on Sunday. Here's the pitch to Morrison. There's strike 3. Morrison watches. That's the first out of the inning. And that'll bring up Lattimore now. Couple of doubles today. Nobody in the Rockers bullpen, so Ryan Dull will try for the 4-out save, or the 5-out save, actually. To get 2 of the 3 outs Here comes the pitch. Swing and a miss. And the count 0-1. Candelario takes a long look in, now set. Right-hander at the shoulders. Here comes the pitch. Big swing and a miss from Lattimore again, and the count 0-2. Tyler Ladendorf waits in the on-deck circle. One out here, bottom 8. And here's the 0-2 on the way. Wheel takes his lead off of first. Fastball well outside. And the count 1 ball, 2 strikes now. I don't think we ever gave you the injury report. John Hayes, Michael Martinez, both still on the injury report for the Rockers. Only 2 currently inhabiting the injured list as Lattimore pops it up, foul territory, first base side. Long run for Moises Sierra. Sticks the glove out and could not haul down the catch, though. So it is a foul ball. Lattimore stays alive, and the count remains 1-2. That was a long run and a tough chance for Moises Sierra. Another 1-2 on the way. Wind still blowing out towards left field. Nobody's really taking advantage of it. Candelario's high curve, and the count 2-2. Crazy that of the Rockers' 9 runs and of the Genomes 6, none of them have been thanks to home runs. You think about the series these two teams played at Wild Health Field last week, and there were home runs left and right in that series. Here's the pitch, swing and a miss. Lattimore down to a knee, but comes up empty. And that is just the Rockers' 5th strikeout of the game. Now to bring up Tyler Ladendorf now. 2 outs and a runner on first. Ladendorf today 1 for 4 with a double. Here comes the first pitch to Ladendorf. Curveball, he's under it. Fly ball into shallow right. There is Paredes backing up, makes the catch. And that's the final out of the inning. With that, we head to the 9th. Rockers lead the Genomes by 3. Ryan Dole going to try to finish it up. Rockers trying to win game 1 of this series and grab a lead in the wild card spot. Hopefully, the final 3 outs of the game next to the Rockers Baseball Network. Rockers going with the defensive team here in the top of the ninth inning. Xander Wheel moves from left field to right field. And coming in where Quincy Lattimore was in the lineup in the number 6 spot is Jay Gonzalez. And he will move into right field. So, the outfield for the Rockers, Wheel, Aklinski, Gonzalez. The infield remains the same. Russell, Alfonso, Ladendorf, Downs with Galino behind the plate. Ryan Dole remains the pitcher, looking for his 8th save of the year. He'll face 6, 7, and 8, Dueñez, Rye, and Miller. Samir Dueñez, 0 for 3 today, RBI and a walk. Here's the first pitch to Dueñez. There's a fastball strike. Here comes the 0-1. Ryan Dole looking for the 5-out save today. Dueñez, a hefty swing, fouls it straight back, and the ball has so much momentum attached to it that it comes all the way back almost to the pitching mound. And the count 0-2 now. Dole comes set, 0-2 on the way. Slider, oh, that's a good-looking pitch, but tried to get Dueñez to chase and could not do so. That was the pitch for Ryan Dole that usually you can garner a couple of swings and misses with. Here comes the 1-2. That's fouled off, and the count 2-2. Ryan Dole, the Rockers staff, only 7 strikeouts tonight. This has been a game with a lot of baseballs put in play. Here's the pitch. That one fouled off of Dueñez's foot. We didn't close the book on Aker. We can go ahead and do that with a third of an inning. 2 runs both earned on 2 hits and a walk. And Alexis Candelario as well. He went 1 inning, walked 1, struck out 2. Rockers will end the day offensively. We just mentioned the 7 strikeouts for Genomes batters. Rockers hitters have only struck out 5 times themselves, so not bad at all. Here's another 1-2 to Dueñez. Dole, fastball. Ooh, good miss. I want to see where that one ends up on the pitch tracker. Looked good. Count 2-2. Must have been outside. Dole set, 2-2 on the way. There's the slider down and in. Dueñez again takes, and the count goes full. We'll see what kind of pinch hitters or options that Mark Minikazi wants to take today, if any, as Dueñez swings and misses. Strike 3. That's the first out of the 9th inning. That'll bring up Austin Rye, 1 for 4. Well, you want to go for power, you've got Chase Vallow. Otherwise, not a whole lot of options. Chris Shaw and Chase Vallow, probably your 2 bats that you would potentially go with, if any. I would guess somebody would hit for Johns, perhaps, as Rye lines this one up the middle, a base hit, 12th hit of the game for Wild Health. That'll bring up Anderson Miller, 1 for 3 and a run scored. Johns is, well, after I say that, Johns started to go into the on-deck circle. He was just called back. Chris Shaw in the on-deck circle. So Anderson Miller will hit for himself, and then Chris Shaw. First pitch is low, and the count 1-0. Here comes the pitch. Slider, strike. And the count 1-1. Dole ready. Here's the slider. That's a called strike. And the count 1-2 now. Six runs on 12 hits, 2 errors for the Genomes, 9-15-0 for High Point. Rockers really have started to turn things around recently. This would be their 4th win in the last 5 games. Slider down and in. That's the pitch Ryan Dole's trying to get hitters to bite at. And interestingly enough, you kind of get the impression earlier on in the year he was getting a lot more of those swings and misses. But now as we've gotten into the latter half, people have seen that pitch a few more times and he's having a harder time getting them to chase. Here comes the 2-2. That's hit on the ground just past Jerry Downs. It's a fair ball down the right field side. Jay Gonzalez is going to have to go into the corner to get it. They are going to hold Austin Rye at third base. It is a double for Randerson Miller. So the tying run comes to the plate. It is Chris Shaw. Chris Shaw, a power-hitting left-hand hitter. 275 with 10 home runs, 42 runs batted in. His RBI total, 4th highest on the team, behind Becker, third highest rather, behind Becker and Paredes. His 10 home runs are tied for 3rd behind Becker and Paredes, and he is tied with Chase Vallow. Right-hander in the pen for the Genomes. First pitch to Shaw, the fastball down and tight. 1 no strikes. Again, is a save situation for Ryan Dole, and perhaps one that is going to be a little hairy by the time all is said and done. Tying run at the plate. Here's the 1-0. That one misses outside to Shaw. 2-0. Luke Becker in the on-deck circle. Genomes not out of this by any stretch. They have scored in 4 straight innings. Dole ready. 2-0 on the way. Slider, and got Shaw to chase that one. And the count 2-1. Difference between that slider and the first one, that one not quite as far out of the zone. Probably looks like it starts more right down the middle almost, but ends up just a shade below the bottom of the zone. More of a hittable pitch, but I think because of that, it's more of an enticing pitch. Genomes 3 out of 12 with runners in scoring position. They've stranded 11. Shaw, ground ball, foul, count 2-2. Rockers on the flip side, 7 of 17. They've stranded 10 of their own, however. You want to hear what the game plan is for Ryan Dole. Perhaps one pitch can go for the strikeout, next pitch go for contact. Rockers will give up a run for the out. Here comes a 2-2. Slider, that is hit on the ground foul, first base side. Wasn't a particularly powerful swing from Shaw. That was more just defensive and make contact with it sort of swing. Here comes the 2-2. Swing and a miss. There's a big one. Down goes Chris Shaw. And that'll bring up Luke Becker with 2 outs. Becker, 1 for 4 today. A run batted in, also was hit by a pitch. Becker again representing the tying run for the Genomes. He's got some power with 14 home runs. Dole comes set, first pitch of this at-bat, slider down. It's kind of a gauntlet part of the lineup. It's not going to get any easier. You got through Shaw, now it's Becker, but then P.A. Davis Paredes. If it gets to Chris Davis, there's trouble. Looks like a bat down the first baseline, swing and a miss. Count 1-1. Not a baseball bat. Well, it's an animal. The animal bat, but it's at the baseball field. Does that make it a baseball bat? I don't know. That's a question for another time. All the players are watching it. I think that does. I think it is a baseball bat. Slider down and away. And the count 2-1. Well, it is hanging out by the Rockers dugout. Players are watching it. I see Trejo and Sam Burton watching it. I think he's now down in the dugout. Now a couple of fans coming over to look at it as well. Here comes the 2-1. That's fouled off, and the count 2-2. So the Rockers bat and the Bats tonight have an opportunity to give them a series opening victory. How batty is that? One strike away is Ryan Dole. The right-hander's set, ready with the 2-2. Slider lined into left field, a base hit. This one's not over yet. Rye comes around and scores. They'll wave Miller around. He'll score. It's a 2-run single. It is now 9-8. For Luke Becker, a 3 RBI game gives him 57. That'll bring up Felix P.A. now, 0 for 4. Frank. It's strange to see Dole with this much of an issue. Not that he's pitched badly necessarily, just kind of getting poked around a little bit. He's given up 4 hits. 3 this inning, 1 last inning. Rockers have asked a lot out of Ryan Dole recently, though. 2 out, or the 4 out save the other day, 5 out save opportunity here today. So the batter, Felix P.A. now, again, tying run at first. P.A. represents the go-ahead run. First pitch, that's way up and away in the count 1-0. Rockers have a right-hander getting up in the bullpen. Let's see who that is down there. That might be Cam Cotter. Dole is set with the 1-0 to PA. Slider low, 2-0. Rockers post-game show will be at the conclusion of today's action. We'll break down everything from around the Atlantic League and get you set for tomorrow's game, the 6:15 start on 273 night. Your zip code begins with 273. Bring proof of that being your zip code to the ballpark, to the box office, and you can get 50% off your ticket order tomorrow. Dole is set. Here comes the 2-0. Slider outside, 3-0. The pitch tracker on that one. It was close, but it was a correct call from Calvin Baker. On deck, Chris Davis. That's not a name you want to hear in this situation. Here's the 3-0. That's down and in, ball 4. So PA walks. Let's see what Jamie Keefe elects to do here with Davis coming up. I would suspect this is Ryan Dole's hitter. Mike Galino's going to go out. I think they're going to check on signs. Oh, wow. Jamie's going to go out there. They're going to bring in the rookie from NC State to face Chris Davis. Jamie Keefe takes the baseball. And Cam Cotter's going to come in. We'll step aside. Big moment of this game coming up next to the Rockers Baseball Network. This is gutsy. Jamie Keefe is bringing in the rookie Cam Cotter to face Chris Davis with the go-ahead run on base, the tying run at second, and 2 outs in the ninth. Cam Cotter has not given up a run in his first 3 appearances, 2 walks, 3 strikeouts, opponents hitting .308 against him. He's in relief of Ryan Dole, who pitched an inning in the third, but ran into trouble here in the ninth. High Point's lead is 1. Oh boy, fasten your seatbelts. First pitch to Davis, swing and a miss, strike 1. Tying run for the Genomes at second base, that's Becker. Go-ahead run is PA at first. Cotter ready, bounces that one, scooped up by Galino, 1-1. Jimmy Paredes in the on-deck circle. Looked like Minikazi was trying to orchestrate a hitter to be ready in some scenario. We'll see what that is as Davis swings. High fly ball. Oh, that's going way back into right field. That ball is off of the wall. Coming in and scoring the tying run is Becker. Here comes Felix P.A. He will score. It's a 2-run double for Chris Davis, and the Genomes take a 10-9 lead. And it was a gutsy decision for Jamie Keefe to go with the rookie there. And Chris Davis comes out on the better end of that one with a double and 2 runs batted in. So Ryan Dole finishes his afternoon give you the final line on him in just a moment, but here's Jimmy Paredes. So the Rockers are going to have to rally in the ninth now. That one fouled off, and the count 0-1. In the ninth, Rockers will have 8, 9, and 1. That's Alfonso, the pitcher's spot, and Russell. 0-1 to Paredes. That's down low, blocked up by Galino. Final line for Dole, an inning and a third, 4 runs all earned on 4 hits, 1 walk, and 3 strikeouts. The Rockers, who had a 5-run lead twice today, now find themselves down 1. Cotter fires a fastball. Paredes comes up empty, though, 1-2. So for High Point, thinking they'll perhaps pinch hit for Galino. Options include Trejo, DiSarcina. Probably your top 2 they go with now that Jay Gonzalez is in the game. That pitch low in the count 2-2. Cotter comes set. Here's the 2-2. Paredes swing and a miss, strike 3. That's the final out of the inning. But the Genomes put 4 runs on the board. And they will take a 10-9 lead into the bottom of the 9th. All of a sudden, the Rockers, who had a comfortable lead today, in need of a little bit of a rally. 8-9-1 coming up on the Rockers Baseball Network. Well, didn't think we'd have a bottom of the 9th today, but here we are. Rockers trail the Genomes 10-9, and they're going to have to rally the troops a little bit here. Rockers need 1 to tie, so they've got action in the bullpen to get ready in case there's a 10th. But again, that doesn't matter if they don't score. Jack Weinberger in the game for the Genomes comes into today's game for Wild Health. 2-1, 4.25 the ERA, 2 saves and 3 chances, 24 walks, 33 strikeouts. And opponents hitting .285 against him. Rockers will have 8-9-1. That's Alfonso, the pinch hitter Cesar Trejo, and then Michael Russell, the 3 scheduled hitters, and Beniklinski if anybody gets on. Defensively, Clayton Melbauer in at shortstop now for the Genomes, replacing Gavin Johns, who was lifted for a pinch hitter. And so here comes the first pitch to Giovanni Alfonso, who's got himself a 4-hit day. He'll take a strike in the count 0-1. Rockers have Jonathan Crawford in the bullpen. 10 runs, 15 hits, 2 errors for the Genomes. 9 runs, 15 hits, no errors for High Point. Alfonso looking for a 5-hit game now. Rockers would love it if he could grab it. This one hit right on the ground a second, though. Paredes scoops it up. Throw a little bit high, but in time, out number 1. That'll bring up Cesar Trejo. Cesar Trejo this year for High Point, used mostly as a pinch hitter since they acquired him recently. Trejo hitting .345, 2 home runs, 8 batted in, hitting .333 for High Point. That's 4 for 12 with 3 runs batted in. Also defensively, Demetrius Moorer is in left field replacing Samir Dueñez. First pitch coming to Trejo. Swing and a miss, and the count 0-1. Now fans getting their money's worth today, coming up on 3.5 hours of this one. Here comes the 0-1. Weinberger ready. Trejo swing and a miss. Down 0-2 now. The Rockers starting to run into a little bit of trouble. They had 2 5-run leads, could not hold either one. Weinberger set now, 0-2 on the way. Trejo hits it weakly on the ground, right back to the mound. Weinberger with the underhand toss, and the Rockers down to their final out. This one's going to sting a little bit. Rockers need to win this series. They should have won this game. Unless Michael Russell and Ben Aklinski have some 2-out magic still in their bats after all the great things they've done this year, this one will pretty much be a definition of the season. Lots of high expectations and struggling to meet them in the end. This is a Rockers team that has, quite frankly, underperformed at times this year. Yes, there have been a lot of injuries on this team, without question. But I think there were some lofty expectations for this team heading into the year, and I think nobody expected the Rockers to be just 3 games over 500 at the 90-game mark. But hey, not over till it's over. Rockers still have a chance here in the ninth. First pitch to Russell. High fly ball into center. Now it's over. Coming in is Miller. And that'll do it. The Rockers blow a pair of 5-run leads, and the Genomes win Game 1. Final score 10-9. Rockers postgame show next on the Rockers Baseball Network. Welcome into the Rockers post-game show on the Rockers Baseball Network. Genomes take down the Rockers game one of this series. Final score 10-9. Did not exactly go according to script for High Point today, at least not at the end. Everything was coming up aces for High Point in the beginning with their ace on the mound. Craig Stem looked good today. 2 runs in 6 innings of work. Rockers got on the board with the Jerry Downs sacrifice fly in the first inning, made it 1-0. The bottom of the second, they would add 2 more. An RBI double from Lattimore and a base hit from Giovanni Alfonso made it 3-0. But no, the Rockers were not done. Xander Wheel would triple in the third to make it 4-0 at that point. In the top of the 5th, though, Genomes finally get on the board. A base hit from Luke Becker makes it 4-1. The bottom of the 5th, another run would come in on a base hit from Jerry Downs. Rockers would lead by a score of 5-1 and tack on another run later that inning. Another ground out by Samir Dueñas in the 6th would bring in a run, make it 6-2. In the bottom of the inning, a bases loaded hit by pitch from Jerry Downs would make it 7-2. Moises Sierra would drive in 2 with a triple in the 7th inning to make it 7-4, but the Rockers would get both of those runs back on a pair of singles by Alfonso and Russell. 9-4 then, and then the 8th inning, a bases loaded walk to Felix P.A. and a base hit from Chris Davis made it 9-6. Then in the top of the 9th, a 2-run single from Luke Becker would make it 9-8, and then Chris Davis would drive in the tying and winning runs with a double a few moments later. Final line score, 10 runs on 15 hits, 2 errors for the Genomes, 9 runs, 15 hits, and no errors for High Point. Alexis Candelario picks up the win, going to 1-1. Ryan Dole takes the loss, falling to 3-1, and Jack Weinberger notches the save, his 3rd of the year. Time of game, 3 hours, 28 minutes, and the attendance tonight, 1,363. One last look around the Atlantic League. Top of the 9th inning, the Ducks thumping the Ferry Hawks. It is 9-1 right now. Actually, final score 14-1. Hadn't loaded yet for me. 14-1 the final score. Lancaster on top of York 5-3. Charleston rallies to take down Southern Maryland 5-4. They beat Matt Latos, and Gastonia with a 2-run lead over Lexington. It is 10-8 right now in the 9th inning. So the Rockers now fall 1 game behind the Genomes in the standings in the wild card spot, and now Southern Maryland is now 2 games out against Lancaster, which means that for the time being, the Barnstormers end up winning the North Division. There will only be 1 wild card spot, so the Rockers are having to play catch-up now on the Wild Health Genomes once again. Well, player of the game today, I think you go either between Craig Stem's great outing. You got Giovanni Alfonso, who drove in 2 runs and had 4 hits. Jerry Downs also drove in 3 runs today with a couple of hits. So I think all 3 of them share player of the game honors today. For the Rockers, everything offensively you could have asked for. You should win a game with 9 runs. But unfortunately for High Point, that's not the way it goes today, as the bullpen runs into a lot of trouble. Craig Stem did his job. The bullpen, though, would allow 8 runs over the final 3 innings. That's something the Rockers are going to have to clear up a little bit as we get into the back stages of this season. But again, Ryan Dole does not do that a whole lot. I think it's just hopefully just a little blip on the radar. Aker has been pretty solid this year, at least since joining the Rockers, so that's not something you think you'll see a whole lot this year. Same thing with Bryce Hensley. Just a couple of guys having an off night. Unfortunately, they all had to have it on the same night. But again, this is a good bullpen. This is a good Rockers team, and hopefully it will bounce back tomorrow. Speaking of tomorrow, it's a 6:35 first pitch with Liam O'Sullivan on the mound for High Point. Max Povsey goes for High Point. Gates open at 6 o'clock. If you're coming out to the ballpark tomorrow, we hope to see you. If not, we'll be on air, MixLR at 6 o'clock. YouTube broadcast will follow shortly after. I think that's a wrap on everything for today. So one final time. Well, first off, before we get too far ahead of myself, a big thank you down to the Rockers control room. Everybody doing a great job down there. Also, thanks to the Rockers camera crew and the Rockers media department for all their behind-the-scenes work. One final time, the score, the Kentucky Wild Health Genomes 10 and the High Point Rockers 9. I'm Kendrick Fruits, wishing you a rocking good night. This has been a presentation of High Point Rockers Baseball on the Rockers Baseball Network.